All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to Women's Football Chat Live. We're back with more WSL action. We kicked off today with a lot of drama across the WSL. We had clashes at the top where Man City were claiming a 6-1 victory. We had a clash at the bottom where the two bottom sides of the table faced off and drew 2-2. Now, we have two sides competing for the Champions League spots. Tottenham aside, who weren't expected to be in this position, sit in fifth. United, a team who came into this weekend third, now in fourth, have a chance to go back into the Champions League places. So this is a really important game. Added to that, the fact that Tottenham's manager, Martin Ho, used to be assistant manager at Manchester United under Mark Skinner. I think it just adds a little bit more spice to what should already be a very interesting game. So, Harry, games don't get much more enjoyable than this.
No, they don't. Over to you, Manchester United. City, Arsenal and Chelsea have all done the business this weekend, and now the pressure is on to the Red Devils to also deliver, but probably the toughest test out of the lot of them, a Tottenham side who also, as you say, have lofty ambitions, and under Martin Ho have looked very, very good this season, and I'm sure this will be a very tasty game. Martin Ho will want to get one over his former mentor, and Mark Skinner will want to make sure that he doesn't get beaten by a man he got along very well with and someone that helped him also deliver success. So it will be a big game for both of them. They'll both want to win one. And yeah, Martin Ho will be hoping that the student becomes the master almost. But yeah, two really good sides this season. It's going to be a great game. United need to bounce back from the midweek. Tottenham have looked very good in the last couple of games. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very, very close contest with a lot of action.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll start by discussing Tottenham to some extent because a side who had such a poor last campaign, I think that compounded most significantly by the statistic that if Tottenham draw today, they'll match their points tally from the entirety of last season. And it is game week 11. We're exactly halfway through. Tottenham say could match or better with a victory their points tally from last season, which is absolutely insane. And what a start to life Martin Ho has had as a WSL manager.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. That the turnaround is absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen a turnaround like it before. One side that last season the majority of their performances were that of a relegation quality side, but this season their fortunes have been transformed. The football they're playing is absolutely brilliant. Of course, the new additions have massively helped that, but it's also been the changing fortunes for the players they have kept. There's been certain players in this Tottenham side that I thought were really below par last season, but have done well to bounce back this season and deliver some very good performances.
I think that's the biggest aspect of what Martin Ho's achieved because, yes, there's been times where it's tied near the bottom, has come into the summer, spent loads of money, brought in a new manager, and suddenly they look great. But the fact that Martin Ho's came in, revitalised players who struggled last season, has seamlessly brought in additions like Toko Koga, like Katinka Tamberg into the side, has been really impressive, that combination of things that he's managed to do at Tottenham. And they're now looking like a really difficult side for anyone in this league to beat. As for United, we saw in the week a very rotated side struggle against OL Lyonnes. We know United have had problems with rotation, but a stronger side today. And we saw a much better performance from them last weekend, United. They looked fairly comfortable against West Ham. They were hoping they could get on the good form, but today will be a good test.
Yeah, it will be a good test. As you say, they did okay against their West Ham, but we know that West Ham aren't quite of the quality we expect this season. And then either side of that win was the loss to Wolfsburg in the Champions League and the loss to Lyon in the Champions League.
3 losses in their last 4.
Yeah, it's been a tough patch for Manchester United, definitely. It has seen them slip away a little bit. Obviously, they now are in 4th. If they win, they'll go back up to 3rd. But I think the defensive record that is more concerning than anything. They've looked still pretty decent in front of goal, but defensively, they have started to ship a lot more goals, and we usually associate Man United with being so strong defensively. So to see them conceding goals at the rate they are this season, it will be concerning. I think the performances of the likes of Laetitia will be a worry for Mark Skinner, someone who is ever present and usually is so consistent. Has had a bit of a topsy-turvy last few games. Obviously, Tullis Joyce being out didn't help with that. She is back, and that is a big boost. But we saw how even on Wednesday night that didn't matter. Of course, OL Lyonnes is one of the best sides in the world, but it's a matter of principle. That performance wasn't good enough for United, and they need to step it up. Hopefully, a stronger 11 so they can get the job done. But yeah, it has not been it's not been the kind of season I think Mark Skinner and United would have hoped for so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be rather happy still. Champions League qualification looks very, very reasonable. Champions League quarter-final or knockout playoff round stage, is achieved. I think that's all they would have set out to do this season. I don't think, I mean, they'd like to be competitive in one of the cup competitions, but I think with the squad depth they've got, to be where they are is still a huge achievement. So I think United have done it incredibly well. And it's worth caveating, this tough run of games has come against Manchester City, VfL Wolfsburg, and OL Lyonnes.
Yeah.
I know Wolfsburg haven't been incredible this season, but that's still a really tough run of fixtures. So I think United are still in a strong position. Today will be a big test. Tottenham have already done quite well against some of the other sides. They took a point off Arsenal. They only lost 1 to Chelsea. They did get hammered by Manchester City, but City are hammering everyone right now. So I still think United are in a fairly decent position. As I say, today will be a really good test, though. Let's take a look at the lineups. Well, first, in the live chat, welcome to the stream. Phil this afternoon, or have to miss this one, unfortunately. That's poor you, Phil. We're going to watch a brilliant game of football, but thank you for joining us this morning, and we're back tomorrow for our weekend roundup. So if you are about 5 o'clock tomorrow, join us for that. Hoya Sack says, let's go United. Any talk of rumoured United winter transfers? At least there is finally some talk on that front. Well, Hannah Lundqvist looks to be a new signing for Manchester United. I'm not sure it's the position they needed to target most urgently, but I think a backup right back's another option for Jade Riviere is good. You would assume it would spell the end for Hannah Blundell, but I don't really know what they're going to do there. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it will be interesting how they balance that and whether they think come up with a bit of a position change for one of those players or someone else along that back line. But I agree, it's positive to see United getting rumoured with transfers. It's positive to see that there will be some investment. Even Mark Skinner in his press conference after the OL Lyonnes game says that it's encouraging that they are close to signing 2 or 3 players, which I think is very, very promising for United fans. So definitely heading in the right direction. It looks like it could be a big January for United. And if they get it right, suddenly they could be looking at a very, very strong 2026. So yeah, it's good to see United being associated with some of the best names in the game, and these rumours being bounded around the women's football space.
Yeah, and then in terms of the other move, which they are linked with, Lea Schuler from FC Bayern Munich. This is a real statement of intent. Now, this one for me depends on what price they're paying. Schuler's contract's up in the summer. They can get a jump and buy her in January, which is what they're trying to do. I don't think that's a bad idea, but there's a reason that Bayern want to sell her. She has been quite injury prone. I think if United are paying any more than £200,000, it is an overpayment, given that she's only got 6 months left, given her injury status. If it's anywhere near that £100,000 mark, that's an absolute bargain. If it's anything less than that, then they have committed a robbery. Yeah. And I think we should investigate what Mark Skinner's been up to. But yeah, I think it would be a really good signing for United. It would open up some questions about what we're going to see with Turland, Mallard and Schuler. Would we see Mallard used more on the left wing? I would assume so. It also adds just a different profile of forward to that United portfolio. The fact that I think Turland's a brilliant hold-up player. I think Mallard's really good at running in behind. I think Schuler offers something quite similar to Melvin Mallard, but is almost a bit more of a blend of the two. I think she's got some good hold-up aspects, some good running in behind, a little bit inconsistent, but I think broadly it is a really good signing. And United are competing now for elite-level signings. Rolfo came in the summer. Now looking at Lea Schuler, they're players who played for those elite-level teams. United, for me, I think it's a real statement of intent. I think, though, the rest of their window needs to be focused on another winger. We know wide players are a big problem for them. I think they need another central midfielder. I think they desperately need a centre-back as well. So still lots to do in that January window. Even if they can cover some roles with loans, I think that would help. But for the side today, let's take a look at the 11s. We'll start, because we are at the Lee Sports Village in Manchester. We'll start with the hosts, Manchester United. It's a 4-2-3-1 for the Reds, and the team is pretty much what you would expect. In goal, it's Fallon Tullers. Joyce back from injury. A little bit shaky on Wednesday night against OL Lyonnes, but admittedly, it was OL Lyonnes. In the back four, it's Riviere, Laetitia, Janssen and Sandberg. Janssen given a rest at in the midweek, really important. Laetitia has looked really tired recently, but hopefully she can step up her level. In midfield, it's Miyazawa alongside Ziggy Otioma. Those two have formed a brilliant pivot this season. On one side, Jess Park, who started off in scintillating form but has faded away of late. On the other, Melvin Mallard, a similar story. Toon in the 10, and Turland leads the line. Yeah, kind of the expected side we've seen for Manchester United this season. It's a strong side, but I think you mentioned Area Park. It's a side that in the last couple of games has just dwindled a little bit, and we haven't seen that spark from United going forwards, and defensively they made errors. Today they've got to get it right. This is the kind of game where Park and Toon could flourish. They will win this game for Manchester United if Laetitia and Janssen
are accurate with their clearances and are physically strong and they're assertive up with that Tottenham front line, then they will win this game for United. United have the quality on the pitch to win the match. It's just whether they can execute the game plan correctly and show the quality they've got. We know they're a good side. There's no doubting that. But their last run of results isn't because they haven't got quality. It's because they haven't showed it on the pitch. I think that get the right players on the ball and they could be on the money today. Mallard, we know, is, I think it's a weird one because I think the whole United front line is having a good season. Get them on the ball, they'll make things happen. I think
they've all done it at different times. Turnham was excellent in the Champions League preliminary rounds. Mallard was then brilliant at the sort of start of the season, and Park then sort of came into her own after that. But yeah, they need to get them all to click at the same time. I think Mallard on the left wing is really smart today.
Yeah,
we saw in the game between Manchester City and Tottenham how they were able to target that right hand side for Tottenham with the pace and the ability of Lauren Hemp. If they can get Mallard running at Ash Neville today, that will make a big difference for Tottenham. Speaking of that Tottenham, speaking of that Tottenham side, 4-2-3-1 also for Tottenham. In goal, Lisa Kopp. A back four of Neville, Koga, Hunt and Nildum. In the midfield, it's Simonen alongside Spence. On one wing, Martha Thomas makes her start of the campaign. On the other, Matilda Wimberg, Holt in the 10, and leading the line, Beth England. A lot of discussion this week about how Tottenham were going to replace the injured Jess Naz, who has suffered another ACL injury. Hopefully, it's a speedy recovery for her, but that is horrible news. Martha Thomas, though, hasn't scored a WSL goal since December 2023. Is she the right player to come into this kind of game?
No, she's not. I understand. Obviously, Naz is injured, but that's not the option I'd have gone for. You either change something up. But no offense to Thomas, but in this kind of game against this kind of quality of Manchester United, you can't rely on a player who hasn't scored since 2023 in the WSL to be a performance. Also out of position. That's the other way you're not going to get.
Well, is it going to be her through the middle, potentially Holt on the right, and then England in the 10?
That I don't like that either.
To be fair, what else did Tottenham do today? Yes, they've got the option of Lena Gunning-Williams. I wouldn't mind giving her a go on the right wing. I think she's looked quite sharp, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Tottenham do today.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Maybe you could have gone for someone like an Arsenal or somebody else in the 10.
Arsenal also not on the bench. I'm not sure if she's got a knock as well.
Have they got any footballers on the bench?
Gunning-Williams, Kit Graham is just back from injury, Molly Bartrip, Rybrink and Aria Dennis, and two
That's
keepers.
It.
Very small bench today.
Wow.
For Tottenham. So that's, people talking about, do they need Signig Outset? Yes,
they do. Very much. Signig Outset turns this from a potential difficult game to winning it. But yeah, it's one of those where I think that Tottenham right side, it could be where they get caught out today. But we'll have to wait and see. I think overall it's a good side. Toko Koga back is a massive boost, and we know how good the Tottenham pivot's been this season. Olivia Holt has been phenomenal. Beth England, we know how good she can be. So Tottenham have definitely got the ability to cause United problems today. I do think that right-hand side with Neville and Thomas is a bit of a weakness, and that is definitely something that, as you mentioned, with United, with Mallard, will look to target. But I think it's going to be...
And Sandberg, and they can double up in that area. Yeah. They're going to cause Neville problems.
Yeah, it's the kind of one where I think that this is going to be a good game, though. I still think it'll be tight. I think both sides have got areas where they look a bit vulnerable. Yeah. It's going to come down to who's the most clinical and who can make their chances count.
Yeah, if it is Thomas on the right, it just confuses or surprises me that he's not put faith in Lena Gunning-Williams, because I don't think Thomas is at WSL level anymore. And I just think if you play through the middle, fair enough, maybe we're going for a hold up forward, and you use Holt to create the width, playing in the 10, something along those lines. But putting Thomas on the right wing, especially, I get he wants a bit of experience for a big game, but I would have thought Martin Ho would have trusted Lena Gunning-Williams.
Yeah, exactly. This feels more Villaharm than Martin Ho. See, Martin Ho, we know
very Villaharm to play Martha Thomas on the right wing.
It's extremely Villaharm, and maybe that will catch Tottenham out today. But yeah, I'm surprised. As you say, Martin Ho, we know how the faith he puts in the youth players. I'm surprised he didn't give the opportunity, but alas, Tottenham have got an 11 today that can cause United problems, and we'll have to wait and see. I think it'll be a close game, though.
Yeah, I think it will be. Let's dive into predictions then, because the players coming out to the field. So it'll have to be a quick one. If you're watching along, get involved in the live chat. Let us know your scoreline prediction. Harry, give it to us quickly. What's your prediction?
2-2.
2-2. I'm going to say... Oh, that is a strange one. I'm going to go 3-1 United. I think at home, strongest 11 today. Tottenham slightly weakened. I think United will win. Heaslip then is the referee today. We'll wait upon her whistle for Beth England to get us underway. And England ready to get us started. Heaslip waiting.
It's a cold one. Horrible weather to play football in.
Yeah, true. But City played in similar conditions and won 6-1, so... and got problems at the back. England continues to wait here for the referee's whistle. And then we will get started for this WSL 2:30 kickoff, the last WSL game of 2025. England knocks it back. We're underway here as Manchester United take on Tottenham, match day 11 of the Women's Super League. And Tottenham looking to go long from the off here. England can't quite keep that under her control though. And Laetitia knocks it back to Tullis Joyce. And now back to Laetitia. England puts her under pressure. She'll carry it forwards here. Maya Laetitia looks brilliant on the ball. And that's a great knock in behind. They're looking to target that Tottenham right side immediately. Too much on that though from Laetitia. It just seemed to gather pace as it went. You thought it might hold up for Mallard, but too much on that.
Yeah, ball is going to run through today, but already seeing how United want to target that Tottenham right-hand side and get Mallard in behind Ash Neville. But I think it could be a pretty direct game, to be fair, today. Tottenham will be looking to find England and getting her to hold it up and bring Holt and Vinberg into the game, and United will sense an opportunity if they can get over the top of the Tottenham backline. Then they could get players like Mallard and like Turland into good positions.
Spence now into Toko Koga. Tries to feed it through the lines. Laetitia makes the tackle. And so United are back in possession. Riviere back to Maya Laetitia. And Jade Riviere looking to hit this in behind for the run of Turland. Hunt will get there though. Shields it from Turland. Can't keep it on the field of play. So United with a throw in high at the pitch on this near side. If you're looking for a way to watch the game, by the way, it is exclusively on the BBC or whichever your TV broadcaster is. In the UK, it is on the BBC. If you're outside the UK, can't find a way to watch it, then feel free to join us here. And if you're watching it, feel free to watch along with us. Here is Toon. Knocks it out now into Anna Sandberg. And now back to Janssen. Laetitia. Nice pass into Miyazawa. Now Riviere. Knocks it back across to Dominique Janssen. Sandberg. Toon tries to go back down the line. Neville does really well there. Steps up but makes the challenge.
Yeah, exactly what she needs to be today. Assertive but controlled. Don't go jumping into tackles that you aren't going to win. But if you sense the opportunity, get a foot in and don't allow United to get past you.
Sandberg into Miyazawa. Now United looking to go from left to right. Lovely exchange there between Miyazawa and Zigiotti. Riviere with space to work with. Drives it across the box. Blocked well by Amanda Nilden, who got back in. Tottenham's box defense is going to have to be perfect today. United, you can already see, are using all the width really well. And Jade Riviere probably should have gone for goal here.
Yeah.
I wonder if she could have just driven this at Lisa Kopp. Wanted to square it, and it's blocked well by Nilden.
Yeah, Tottenham are going to be very narrow. You can already see there Riviere was alone as the ball got played out to her. Tottenham did well to get across, but yeah, there was a window of opportunity there where Riviere could have looked to just slice it across goal.
Riviere wasn't even wide, particularly, and was able to get space out there. So, yeah, very narrow Tottenham in the early stages. Toon to Sandberg. Sandberg puts the ball into the box. It drops in there for Laetitia, whose shot is blocked. Big save from Kopp to deny Mallard on the rebound. Swept up here by Jess Parker. Who's going to look to put it into the box. Good delivery to the front post, but it's dealt with. And Toon tries to hold on despite pressure from Matilda Vinberg. Riviere carrying the ball forwards well. Back out to the right-hand side. Ella Toon. Tidy footwork from Toon. And Spence steps in. Doesn't get the ball. I think that's a fair decision from Heaslip, but we'll have a look on the replay.
Yeah, it was assertive from Spence. Fast start though for United. A massive chance for Mallard there. And a huge save from point-blank range from Lisa Kopp. But United have... This is exactly the reaction they needed. They were embarrassed a little bit, I think, by OL Lyonnes in the midweek. But starting fast here and looking to make amends immediately in the league.
Yeah, they were embarrassed on purpose in a sense. United played that rotated side. They knew it would make life even more difficult for themselves. But given their very light squad, it's left them today with a fully fit starting 11. And ultimately, they weren't going to get into the top four anyway. Ball in from Ziggiotti, flicked up in the air by Letizia. Turland competes for it. Is deemed to have been too aggressive in her handling of Drew Spence.
Yeah, just nudged Spence over there as she challenged for the ball. Letizia did well to flick that on, but didn't really realise where she'd put it and end up going directly up.
A word on Drew Spence, by the way. I think last season a lot of people would have said that she struggled and potentially Tottenham would have looked to move her on, but this season has been brilliant, really, under Martin Ho, rewarded with a new undisclosed length contract. They're my favourite ones.
Yeah.
When you don't know how long they're actually going to stay, but you would assume it's got to be at least another year.
It's been brilliant. That pivot of Spence and Summerlin has been a key part of Martin Ho's football and why Tottenham have, had the change of fortunes that they have this season.
And here is Evelina Summerlin, carries it forwards, now out to Koga.
These are the big moments for me, is when Tottenham are on the ball. We know when United have got the ball, Tottenham are going to be narrow and they're going to allow the home side to come at them. But what can Tottenham do when they do have possession? Can they cause United problems? Can they be efficient with the ball and use it to their advantage?
Hinata Miyazawa now trying to knock it out to the left-hand side. Neville's touch is a little loose, but she'll get there ahead of Turland. That could have been nervy. Under pressure here, still Ash Neville, and passes it to Jess Park. That's not great from Neville. Park plays it inside. Miyazawa into Ziggiotti. Now back to Riviere. And United there do well. Just putting that ball in behind. It creates problems of its own sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Ash Neville was doing. Her first touch was poor. And then rather than... She had 2 opportunities to knock it back to Lisa Kopp. And just decided to keep it. And then tried to play it out and got it all wrong.
Yeah, Neville gives chase there to Mallard. Does well to force her back. Here's Letizia, who will slide that into the wide space, and Park does well to actually get anything on it, but can't keep it in play.
Yeah, Tottenham just, you feel finding their feet. United having more of the ball and looking more positive, and Tottenham will hope that they're going to grow into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, United look like it's an inevitability. They're going to score soon with a pass like that. It could be very soon. Mallard into Turland. Big block there from Hunt. But yeah, that was a really poor pass. Was it Nilden or England?
I think it was Nilden. I'm not too sure, though.
Really poor. Here's Thomas, wants to take on Sandberg. Sandberg just stands her up. Still in play there. Thomas decides it's a throw-in. And so it goes the other way.
Yeah, I think it was a United throw.
It looked very confusing. It didn't look like it left the pitch.
No.
And then Thomas just picked it up. But it will be a United throw, I think.
But I like the fact Thomas is trying to take on Sandberg. Trying to be positive, trying to make things happen.
A27 says, Turland has to do better, in my opinion. I don't think she could have much more with that one, if that's what you're referring to, where Mallard just fed it through to her. Didn't have a lot of time. Hunt closed her down really quickly. If you just mean in general, yeah, probably. I think Turland started really well this season. Looked incredibly sharp in the Champions League prelims, but yeah, hasn't looked as sharp in the WSL. I think she's still on like 3 goals this season or something. I don't think it's been a bad season at all.
But these are the kind of games
that
I think you have to get yourself up for as a striker. When you hear in the rumour mill that your team are looking at buying another forward, you know you have to deliver. You have to put in a good performance and just say, look, I know you're trying to buy a striker, but I've still got the quality.
At a club like Manchester United, though, competition is healthy. His team trying to wriggle room for the shot, going backwards though, and so Tottenham will be penalised for that push on Park.
Yeah, Tottenham have come out and they're being assertive and aggressive, but the problem is at the moment it's just the wrong side and they're just committing fouls. Someone in there did get a foot on the ball, but her follow through caught Park and it is going to be a free kick.
Yeah, Jess Park has caused a lot of problems in this game already.
Yeah.
For Tottenham.
I mean, she's already limping around. It's probably because she keeps getting barreled into at every opportunity. It's the only way Tottenham can stop her at the moment, and for Tottenham, that isn't sustainable. You can't keep stopping Man United by fouling them. It will cost you eventually. Yeah, absolutely. So, looks like it'll be Dominique Janssen over this, and she'll strike the free kick well, and it whistles past the post after burying one last weekend. You'd be a brave man to bet against her scoring another, and this wasn't far away. Just looking to dip it into the front post. Kopp, though, saw it all the way. Yeah. I think Lisa Kopp, we just put her wall there. They seem to just fall apart, and Janssen's free kick was allowed to fly through the gap, but also flew far past the post. so no harm done. Yeah, Tottenham just can't really seem to get on the ball.
Mallard, though, looked to knock that out of play. I'm not sure how that has been given the way of Manchester United.
Yeah.
Sandberg. Now it's with Janssen. Letitia. Looking to carry the ball forwards. Good step up there from Hunt. Great interception there because she just reads that pass forward, jumps in, but absolutely nails it and wins the ball back. United, they do regain possession swiftly. Letitia now on the ball, looking to make a pass to the right-hand side. Opts to go back into Janssen. She'll spread the play with Sandberg. Toon, who's dropped into a wide position, goes backwards. And once again, the ball exchanged along the back line from left to right. And here, Zigiotti's dropped in at that right back position, looking to play it in behind to Park. That's going to bounce out of play. Positive, though. First 10 minutes for United. Look the better side so far.
Yeah, it's exactly what Mark Skinner would have wanted. As you say, full strength side back in for today. And they are showing it. I think Tottenham will be aware that they are under a bit of pressure here. And
only a bit.
Yeah. I think Martin Ho would probably like to have a bit more of a control in the game.
Yeah.
Of course, they expected that they'd turn up here and expect United to have the ball and have the better quality and probably create more chances. But I still expected Tottenham to give them a kind of game. At the moment, it is very much one-way traffic.
Beth England wants to cross into Olivia Holt. And she'll chop inside now. And one back by Zigiotti. Spence and tries to knock out to the right-hand side. And did catch Toon in the process. But referee deemed it fair. Neville tries to win it off from Mallard. Mallard gets it back though. Neville tries to be assertive. Mallard takes it past. Actually not even there. Brilliant from Melvin Mallard. Space to drive into here for Mallard. Tries to slip it in early. Koga on hand to knock it clear.
Ash Neville has been absolutely done there by Melvin Mallard. Quick shift of the feet from the French forward, and Neville was already backtracking. Again, really sharp, and that's a good gain of 30, 40 yards there from Melvin Mallard.
The problem is Neville looked beat there before she was.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just that, it's obviously nice from Mallard driving it past her, but yeah, Neville gave up on that before Mallard even got away from her.
Yeah.
Here is Zigiotti with this delivery. And that's hung towards the back post. Turned towards goal, and there is a foul there. As it's deemed Letitia's barreled into Summerton, and Turland's not happy, but to be fair, it didn't exactly drop to a United player. And yeah, United so far having it all their own way. Dominating the ball, 69% possession, 6 shots without reply. Tottenham yet to even break into the United area.
Yeah, Tottenham just can't get out at the moment. They need to find a way to play through United. The press is... We know United's press is very, very good, but Tottenham need to find a way to try and get through it, or just bypass it and go over the top.
Letitia. Back out now to the left-hand side. Janssen looking to play it in behind, and that'll be seen back to Kopf. Really nice stuff again from Claire Hunt, who's defended really well in these opening 13 minutes. And here is Hunt on the ball. Back across to Kopf. Drills it into the feet of Olivia Holt. Great touch there. And now Neville. Back to Koga. And Kopf. Just lifting it out towards Nilden. Riviere goes in firm. Spence just lets that run to Surinam. And now Neville. Trying to play it forwards. That pass, though, rushed and inaccurate from Ash Neville.
Yeah. Again, it's the same parts of this Tottenham machine that are working well, and the same parts that you think are probably letting them down a little bit. The spine has been solid. The centre halves have had a good start so far. The pivot is...
They've won it out of the pitch here. Wimberg goes deep there into Surinam. Probably going to play forwards. And then Surinam absolutely smashes it at Spence. You wanted to go through to England, but Spence wasn't quite on the same wavelength. But yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with your comment. I think the spine is still doing decently. England hasn't really got involved. And Holt has done well to receive the ball, but hasn't really been able to
Mm.
progress it. But yeah, at the moment, the width just isn't really working. I mean, as we expected, United absolutely targeting Tottenham's right-hand side of the defence.
I don't think they've counted him once.
No. A couple of times Park has, but then she wants to drift inside as quickly as possible. Here's Tullis Joyce, and Rivier's in a bit of space there. If she wants to play it long, she's picked it up. And then we'll throw it out to the left-hand side. Janssen. Miyazawa. To Janssen. Miyazawa is the deepest outfielder for a moment there. Dropping between the centre halves. Tullis Joyce. Now it's with Janssen. Carries it forward down the line into Sandberg. Into Mallard now. He wants to take on Neville again, and it's just too easy for Melvin Mallard. Cuts inside. Neville does really well there to recover. Gets back in, makes the challenge. That's a strong but fair tackle from Melvin Mallard. From Nash Neville. Mallard is down, and the ref has stopped the game.
Yeah, it was a crunching challenge from Neville, but on the right side of the law, did well. Yeah. Got stuck in and won the ball back. And she said did well to recover there because initially she got absolutely, was beaten way too easily again. It's definitely a position I think Tottenham have got to look at in the January window. I think they're just I look at the Tottenham side, and again today shows it that they're just a couple players away from being able to compete.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the best sides do exactly what Manchester United are currently doing, which is, taking your biggest weakness and just targeting it every time.
Here is Kopp. Picks it up. Now looking to play out again. Kopp lifting out towards the left-hand side. England chests it forwards.
That's really good from Beth England.
Now to the right-hand side. Holt. Chopping back in now. Spence. Plays out to the left-hand side. Here's Amanda Nilden. Delivering it towards the back post. Thomas heads. And that is where Martha Thomas can be incredibly dangerous. But that one's straight at Tullis Joyce. And perhaps a player in better form, in more confidence, would have headed that home. But Thomas, straight at the keeper.
Tell you what, much better though from Tottenham. Really good move. Beth England did well, and it all came because England beat Letitia in the duel, and because she won that, they then got it out to the right hand side. Holt got it across to the left, and Nilden is a great ball in. And as you say, Thomas is kind of like a wide target player on that right hand side.
That is how you're going to get something out of Thomas as a winger. Is if you can target those crosses. You got England in there. You got Thomas arriving at the back post. You're going to have options. Ball out to the left-hand side, and United misplaced that one, and Tottenham having a better passage here.
Yeah, again, you don't like to kick players when they're down, but that's just a matter of minutes here where Letitia's lost that duel with England, which has led to a chance being created, and then just knock that ball out of play. It's a really poor pass.
Olivia Holt does really well there to beat Mallard, now lifting it into the box, and Tullis Joyce does well to claim that one.
And this is what Tottenham can do, and this is much, much better. Get the ball in the box. Test Manchester United's box defending recently has not been very good. Look at the goal that Chawinga scored on Thursday. That was too easy. Look at the goal on Wednesday. That was too easy. Look at the goal that Shakira Martinez scored for West Ham last weekend. Even the Villa goal that came from a corner. You've got to test United's box defending.
Mallard, ball in, head away well by Hunter. I think that is exactly the game plan they're going for at the moment. Trying to get those balls into the area, trying to find either Thomas or England in there. And
yeah, good spell though.
So far.
But again, a good reaction, really good reaction from Tottenham. When you're under pressure for the first 10-15 minutes of a match, it's very hard then to get out and to get yourselves forward. But last couple of minutes have just been a bit more positive.
Sandberg back to Ziggiotti. Letitia. Park into Ziggiotti Olma. Now Miyazawa. Back to Sandberg. Mallard. Lovely exchange between her and Sandberg. Brilliant tackle though from Ash Neville. does really well to get back in there. Makes the challenge. Now here's Martha Thomas. Playing it forwards. That's a great header from Dominique Janssen. England was trying to make the run off the shoulder, trying to anticipate any mistake, but no such mistake from Janssen. Sandberg into Mallard. Neville closes the angle quickly. Mallard squeezes the pass forward, but Toon can't get there. Koga back to Kopp, now to Hunt. Wide into Amanda Nilden, who shifted inside. Great drive from Nilden. Riviere on her tail, and Riviere brings her down. But Tottenham keep possession. Simonen. Back into Lisa Cup. Koga. Carries it forward, slots it through the lines into England. Now Holt, back to England. Looking for Holt again, but one back in there by Dominique Janssen. This is a great drive here from the centre half, who keeps carrying it forwards through to Jess Park. Should score. Takes a touch, cuts it across. Koga, what a block. Headed away, and Jess Park reeling after that miss.
I think Park was already ready to go off in celebration. Really good from Janssen. Park here cuts back superbly onto her left foot. Looks to find the far corner, but Koga is there to flick it round the post. That's a superb piece of defending, because Lisa Cott was beaten. That is brilliant from Koga.
I'm surprised Park didn't take that first time. I think at the start of the campaign, in better confidence, better form, should have taken that first time, drilled it across the goal. Ball in, and it's claimed really well there by Lisa Cott. Anthony says too long to shoot. Yeah, I agree. Park should probably just hit that. First time. And now here is Lisa Kopp. Hunt into Nildum. Liam, welcome to the stream. Letting people know that it's on the BBC. If you're looking to find a way to watch it, here is Miyazawa. Now Letitia. Inside to Toon, back to Letitia. Janssen. Now Sandberg. Brilliant from Melvin Mallard. Sells Neville the dummy. Unopposed as she puts the ball in. Koga deals. Miyazawa strikes. And she can't quite find the target. Set up nicely for her on the edge of the box. Hinata Miyazawa. Not the contact she would have wanted to make with that effort.
Another good move from Manchester United. And again, it comes down that left-hand side running. Mallard running at Neville. Cuts the ball back into the box. Koga clears it. Falls to Miyazawa. And yeah, you'd think Miyazawa could have done better with that one. But yeah, United are having some opportunities. And I think by this point in the match, they'd have liked to have taken the lead.
Yeah, Holt down here.
Well, this is not what Tottenham will need.
No.
I think a lot of thinking for Martin Hope, who's currently doing his best Marcelo Bielsa impression.
Indeed, while Tottenham here are managing to hold aside in the Champions League places, the male counterparts are losing to a side in the relegation zone. So it's good fun. Yeah, Holt will have to go off for a moment. Seems to be okay. Tottenham hope she's okay. She's been excellent.
Yeah, that knee strapped up, and I think she was given something. So I wonder if it is just feeling a bit of pain. So they're going to give her something to take the pain away, and they're going to, she's going to play through it.
Yeah, they can't really afford not to have her with how bare bones they're attacking forces right now. Of course, Signic Outset will be a Tottenham player when we next watch at our self fixture.
And I can assure you she will be starting in that game.
Well, yeah, but based on how many players they've got out at the moment, probably. But yeah, I'd be surprised if she's the only signing Tottenham make. We know there's interest in Micah Hamano on a loan deal from Chelsea. And you'd think they'd be looking for a more natural right winger as well, with Jess Now's out for the campaign.
I'd probably pick a right back as well.
Or just go back playing right wing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Kopp launching out to the right-hand side. Header won by Ziggiotti. And a game of headers, which ultimately falls to a United possession here, is Park into Toon. Good control. Miyazawa now to Sandberg, looking left. Finds Mallard, who wants to take on Neville again. Does try to hold on to the ball. Now back to Miyazawa, who can let fly from this kind of range, and it thunders against the crossbar.
Wow.
Great technique on the strike from Miyazawa, but the bar still reverberating after that one.
Great hit from Miyazawa. Caught it nicely, got it out of her feet well. Got some power behind that. And yeah, smashing the crossbar. Another big chance for Manchester United. No one in a Tottenham shirt gets anywhere near it. Way too easy from the away side. Someone's got to close it down there, and they get away with it.
Spence now to Matilda Wimberg. And Tottenham shifting it back. Hunt, Koga. Hoyer says, waste opportunities could be an alternate headline for United season. I don't think they've been too bad in front of goal. I think they're performing, I think, well over XG. But yeah, I think United's problem is just that they don't have the squad depth. You know, a rotated United side looks fairly weak. You know, a rotated Chelsea side, or even a rotated City team probably, on their day look like sides that would comfortably be in the Champions League hunt. But a rotated United team looks like a side that would struggle to be top half. So yeah, they just need a lot more depth. Here's Holt. Drives that ball forward. Now looks out to the left-hand side. Nilden. Great control. Back to Hunt. Koga tries to play it forward, cut out well. I know, Jorge, I don't think the problem with Manchester United is Mark Skinner. I think Skinner's done a fantastic job at United. I don't think he gets anywhere near the praise he deserves. Here is Wimberg. Tries to play it forward. Letitia came up high, committed to it. Didn't get the ball. Nilden. I don't know why she's gone backwards there, Amanda Nilden. No options ahead of her. No, it's back to Hunt, though. Plays it through the lines. Wimberg, great control there. Summonham. Probing here, Tottenham. Trying to just find their way through the United system.
Yeah, it's safe. You can tell that, I mean, even Wimberg there, she has the ball. She looks over both her shoulders, has two options, and chooses to go backwards. Summoning overruns it. And again, Koga makes a bit of a mess of it. I was bouncing around
well by Spence. So that ball had gone through there from Park. Could have left Tottenham a little exposed. Here is Janssen.
It's a game of very fine margins at the moment. I think maybe I was a bit ambitious in my 2-2 prediction.
Brilliant that from Mallard to take it down the line past Neville. Neville brings her down. Mallard is furious that's not been given, but I don't think there's too much wrong with what Neville did there.
No.
She used her body well, and she's frustrating Mallard, which I think is really important.
Yeah, Thomas does well to get back, and they double up and work well with each other. And it's almost like Neville kind of like nudged her onto Thomas, and then Thomas took over. That's exactly what they need to do to stop that threat, and I wonder if that has been the call, is that Thomas has got to work harder defensively.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's Paul there. Koga trying to play out, picked off by Miyazawa. Here now is Ella Toon who can let fly, blocked brilliantly by Claire Hunt, and then reacts as well as, and now she'll have to go down, but she firmed that to the chest. Was brilliant to get back up, and yeah, did so well.
Yeah. Again, really good from Claire Hunt.
Well, we've spoken loads about how good her season's been, but this, real, even stronger performance than her average has been this season. Just brilliant.
Yeah, it's just the assertiveness, but also how comfortable she looked. I thought last season she just never looked so nervy, but this season she looks comfortable. She looks calm, and
I think it's so helpful to have Toko Koga alongside. I think that Villa game last week with Bartrip next to her, not only did Bartrip really struggle, but I think Koga makes everyone around her better. I think she's brought brought the best out of players like Evelina Summerlin and Drew Spence. I think she's brought the best out of Hunt. I think she's made Neville a much more composed defender as well. So yeah, It's incredible. Look how much Tottenham's defence, how much better Tottenham's defence looks than it did last season. Last season it was just Lisa Kopp stood in the goal, praying. This season they look good. Park trying to drift inside here, goes to Zigiotti. Back to Hinata Miyazawa. And now we'll switch it wide into Sandberg. Neville closes her down and does really well there to block the shot.
Better.
I thought it would be United doubling up on Tottenham in that wide area. I didn't think it would be Tottenham doubling up so effectively on United. United just haven't got Sandberg and Mallard clicking together in this game so far.
No, they haven't. There's a very in-depth conversation happening between all the Tottenham coaches. Very interesting. Yeah. But yeah, battle's better for Neville. And although United have got a corner here, we're half an hour through and it is still 0-0.
Indeed. Ball into the back post. Turland heads it. Turland heads it wide.
Yeah, not a bad ball in that at all. But just, it's not much Turling can do with it. A lot of bodies in there. A lot of white shirts packed in that 6-yard box. But I think, although it has the majority of players gone with Man United, I don't think Tottenham will be too displeased with how this game has been played so far. They're doing all right. They're certainly in the contest.
Holt into Neville. Back to Olivia Holt, who goes into the feet of England. Now Summerlin. That's Erlen quick to put the pressure on. Koga steps in though, wins it back. Drew Spence just backed out of that challenge as Turner went in high. But that's excellent from England. And now it's out wide to Holt. Back to Spence. England. Spence. Holt. Plays it forwards. England. Plays it through the lines. Thomas makes the run off the shoulder. Leticio, though, brilliant there. Assertive. Wins it back well. Spence. I think it went out of play, apparently. Will be a Tottenham throw then.
But they're the really good moves from Tottenham. Spence into Holt, into England, into Thomas. That's what having Thomas is giving them. Is that when England is dropping in, they've still got someone as that focal point holding the staying high.
There's the fluidity, and there's been fluidity in the Tottenham structure all season, but especially the attacking structure. The difference that's happening today is that it's Holt drive, coming wide, England dropping in, and Thomas then pushing forwards.
Yeah,
which obviously you don't do if you've got Jess Naz, really. No. But it's there's a lot more fluidity. We're seeing Nilden's not getting up quite as high, so Vinberg's inverting less. And Nilden's actually making quite inverted runs. Here's Thomas, looks to slip it in behind, looking for Holt. Sandberg will get there, knocks out for a corner, but Tottenham are coming into this game. Yeah,
again, really nice move. Nilden drives it forward and gets it out to the right-hand side. I think here Thomas probably needs to hold on to it a little bit longer because Holt hadn't quite made the burst.
It's the decision-making there from Mark Thomas. That comes from a player who hasn't played a lot of senior football.
Yeah.
This season. Or at least at WCL football, has played a bit in the cup, but yeah, that decision making just needs to be a little bit sharper. Vinberg over this. Can Tottenham take the advantage? I mean, it's United who've had the chances, but they've not really. They've not taken any, and they've not dominated. They started really well, but Tottenham have come back into this game. Vinberg puts it on the keeper, drops down now. Can England turn it? Can anyone turn it? It's a mess of bodies. Can someone put it in the goal? No, they can't. Zigiotti lashes it clear.
Alice Joyce got away with one there. No one in a white shirt could poke it goalwards.
So smart from Vinberg. Put it on the goalkeeper. Put a goalkeeper who's been out for a few weeks under pressure.
Yeah.
Spence. Now Nilden. Shifts it inside. Holt lets it under Spence. Lovely move. Here's Matilda in a high position. Cuts it back. Spence now lashes it over the bar. Lovely move from Tottenham there. Fluid, liquid football. And Drew Spence couldn't quite provide the finishing touch.
That deserved a goal. Superb. Nilden, Holt, Spence all linking up. And I'll be honest, I think Hunt's very good defensively. But if the ball from Spence had fallen to anyone that wasn't Claire Hunt, that could have ended in a goal. But I tell you what, brilliant football from Tottenham. And as you say, the last 5 minutes, they're really growing into this game and having a good spell.
Thomas Joyce will send it long. Header one in there by Evelina Summonen. Flicked on well by England. Wimberg will get there. Wants to take on Jade Riviere. And now it's Nildum. Hunt. Into Summonen. Nildum. And back to Claire Hunt.
We spoke about it happening in the build-up, is that Tottenham will grow into the game. And it's exactly what they've done here. They've done it in the majority of their other games as well, is they do just grow into the game. I thought against Arsenal, they steadied the ship and they absorbed pressure for 20, 30 minutes. And then towards the end of that first half, they started going at Arsenal. And again, we're seeing it today. They just steady themselves, get themselves into the game, make sure they're not out of the contest, and then they start to get the ball down and play their football.
Hunt tries to play in behind. Riviere heads down. England does well to keep this move alive. Here's Evelina Summonen. Shifts it into Beth England. Needs a runner there. Into that pocket of space on the left-hand side. Holt in this right half space. Now can shift it wide. Here's Neville holding the width. Plays it into the box. And that couldn't quite find its way to Martha Thomas. You can see exactly who they were trying to target there. Koga steps up. Beats Mallard. Brilliant from Koga. Into Holt. This game's going Tottenham's way now. Holt. Koga. Just join the attack. Holt. Lovely drop of the shoulder. Puts it into the area. Lovely move. Tottenham capitalise fully. Olivia Holt. That is magical. The drop of the shoulder. The shift inside. Beth England meets it wonderfully and heads it home. Manchester United 0, Tottenham 1. United started faster, but Tottenham have responded brilliantly.
We said they were growing into the game, and that is a deserved goal for Tottenham. The football in the last few moments have been absolutely magnificent. Olivia Holt, this is superb. Great drop of the shoulder, the ball is perfect. And when you put a delivery like that in towards someone like Beth England, of course she's going to put it at the back of the net. That is an archetypal Beth England header in off the crossbar. Nothing Thomas Joyce can do, but brilliant from Tottenham.
Stupidly good for Olivia Holt. She drops the shoulder, she spins the player, and on her weak foot, she plays reverse ball over the top, perfectly weighted to meet Beth England. I cannot describe just how good that is from Olivia Holt. What a ball in behind. And Beth England, I mean, she's not going to miss that kind of header. Does so well to just put so much power into the header that Thomas Joyce is powerless.
Yeah.
Brilliant that from Neville, who I have to say I was worried about in the build-up. I think I made that abundantly clear, but she has been excellent. First few minutes looked nervy. Really grown into this game and has now stepped up. So let's say less.
Let's not talking if you run away. But yeah, United, they started well, but they're being punished now for missing those chances.
Absolutely.
We spoke about it. There were opportunities for Turland that got charged down. Jess Park took too long to shoot and didn't get the shot away. And we're seeing some other. Obviously, many minutes are hitting the crossbar was a bit unlucky, but United haven't done enough when they have to play. And Mark Skinner is understandably not very happy.
United's last shot came on half an hour, and this spell of 7-8 minutes since then, it's been all Tottenham.
Yeah.
Header away well by Koga, drops for Neville. Hunt plays it into Spence. She's got so much space to use. England now with Janssen on her back. Twists out of it brilliantly. Spence now to Holt. Looks down the line. Wants to take players on Olivia Holt. Beats Janssen. Sandbergs a step too far. But Olivia Holt's running the show out here.
Yeah.
But absolutely running the show. Turland. Brilliant hold up. Mallard in behind. Here come United. With pace, Neville gets back in, slows her down, back towards Toon, who takes too many touches.
Neville's done well.
Out of her grasp, here's Zigiotti. Into Turland, holds it up well. Riviere now, players queuing up in the area, waiting for that cross. Riviere's got zero support, wants to take on Nildon herself. Ball cut back, glancing header away. I think it was Hunt in there again. Mallard opens up the space with a shot off the bar. At close range, Turland, Koga off the line, punched away by Kopp. And Tottenham with backs to the wall defending. to stop United.
Wow, how have United not scored in this game? Brilliant from Mallard. It's a great effort from range. Again, nobody gets out to her. Too easy. Ash Neville lets her shoot off the crossbar, and Turland from that close in.
Koga.
Wow.
The recovery. There's a touch from Kopp as well to save it. Turland goes across goal. Kopp left stranded. Koga to the rescue.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Tottenham.
And it's not only that Tottenham are so good on the ball, it's the desire. It is last season Tottenham would have switched off in that moment, but Koga's sprinting back onto the goal line. Players are getting out to Mallard here, and yes, Neville should do better as she squares her up. But Hunt puts pressure on Turner, and Koga gets back desperately, and then everyone rushes to get back in and help the team out.
Yeah.
It's not just that they are a better side structurally, better side tactically. They are a better side mentally, this Tottenham team.
Yeah, but even in this game, don't get me wrong, United probably should have scored by now, and they have played well for at points in this game, but Tottenham are outworking at the moment, and that is the difference. That United have played well to a point, but Tottenham are working harder, and that is making the difference at the moment.
Yeah. A27 says Partey needs to be in the middle and take Toon off. United don't really have a right winger to do that.
I don't think Toon's touched the ball, really.
No. Sandberg in towards the back post. Header against the bar, and that should be a goal for Laetitia.
Wow.
Unlucky that for United, simply put.
I still don't know how they haven't scored. Third time hit the crossbar in this first half, Manchester United.
And that one, yeah, nothing anyone in a Tottenham shirt could have done about that. Laetitia got away. But a header crashing against the bar.
Kopp came and missed it. Can't afford to do that. And United really should have punished.
Park carries it forwards. Thomas will get back in there. Tries to backheel it into Jess Park. Park still going. Battling away with Thomas. And the Scot smashes up the line. That'll be out for a throw, which Sandberg will go and take. Now to Janssen. Laetitia. Carrying it forwards. Laetitia turns back to Dominique Janssen. Now out to the left-hand side with Sandberg. Wants to take on Martha Thomas, and she's gone in rather wildly on Anna Sandberg. She thinks she's won the ball and not interested in Sandberg's complaints. It will be a corner.
Yep. Hard but fair from Martha Thomas.
I think that's been the theme
for
Tottenham. They've been aggressive, but
Kopp gets away with one massively.
Yeah.
That corner comes to claim it, completely misses it. And Laetitia, from that kind of range, should really put it in the back of the net, somehow hits the crossbar. Just feels like United cannot find a way to put the ball in the back of the net.
Into the
corner.
box.
That's a terrible corner. Didn't even hit the side netting. Just went so far off the pitch, it just went behind the goal.
Liam asks, why is Rolfo not playing? She looked great for them this year. I think they're trying to target the pace in behind. Rolfo's really good if what you're trying to do is have crosses from the right hand side that she can meet at the back post, or if you're looking for crosses from both sides. Rolfo's a really good crosser of the ball as well, and also brilliant headerer.
Yeah.
But what they want today is Mallard to get in behind that space because Neville's not the best at recovering. So if they can get Mallard to make that run in behind and they can pick her out with that passing behind, the theory is that she'll get opportunities that way to either take them herself or cut them back for someone like a Turland. But they've just not had that joy. Mallard's not timed that run well. They haven't had the time in the midfield to pick out passes like that. And Neville's actually done really well to make Mallard's life difficult. Miyazawa. Zigiotti tries to flick that out to the left-hand side. They're rushing it now, United. There's a very apparent feeling of frustration. You can see it on the face of Skinner. You can see it on the face of the players. And Martin Ho might not be smiling, but I'm sure he's a very happy man inside.
He will. I think United need to realise that it's not that bad. They've played well, but the problem is, as you say, they're getting frustrated even though they are playing well because they're losing, and that's when things do start to go wrong. But if they just keep doing what they're doing, they will find a way back in this game. Yeah,
I mean, they've created so many chances. They're unlucky that one hasn't gone in.
Yeah.
The problem is now, if that frustration sets in, it'll go back in the hands of Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because they're playing with a lot more calm
Mm.
and a lot more patience. Whereas you can see United are rushing now, and that will see the shot quality and the chance and the clinicality sort of go down the drain even more than it already is.
Yeah.
Nilden caught out there by Park carrying it forwards, rushes it forward though, and it's won back by Tottenham. Simonen. England turns and goes back into Amanda Nilden. Vinberg.
Tottenham will just want to protect the ball now until the end of the first half. If they can go into half-time 1-0 up, then that is a job well done as far as Martin Ho is concerned.
I mean, if this game we've still got a lot of football to play. But if this game finishes this way and Tottenham are sat 4th in the Women's Super League, 2 points off Chelsea, 8 points off top at the midpoint of the season, comfortably ahead of the other midfield teams, 4 minutes of additional time, by the way, in this first half. And they're bringing in Signa Gaupset. And they're looking at Micah Hamane. Where is the ceiling for this Tottenham team? Suddenly, it's not just 5th place. I still think they could do with a right back as good as Neville's been today. I think they'd like some depth midfield options because we haven't really seen Simonen or Spence not play. Like, what do they do in that situation? So, some strength in depth, or even like players that come in and are better, but that offers that challenge and rotation options. I think just that's what Tottenham have got to target next. But just quality in depth, ceiling raising signings. That's exactly what Signa Gaupset is. It's exactly what Tamberg and Koga were. That's what they need more of.
Yeah.
And arguably Lisa Kopp, to be fair, we forget she only came in last January.
Yeah. I think it's what also makes this game quite interesting, that I don't think we mentioned it, is obviously these two sides meet each other in the Women's League Cup next weekend.
Yes, indeed. Here is Vinberg. A competition where, even more than this game, United can't afford to lose because they want silverware.
Yeah.
And that is a really good opportunity to claim some. Hunt. Spence out to the right-hand side. Here is Vinberg. Lovely give and go. Neville now puts it in towards the back post. Simonen's on hand, heads across goal, and Tottenham double their advantage. Evelina Simonen heads home. It's not the kind of goal you usually expect from Simonen, but that's a really good header. Makes the run to the back post. The placement, the power, and the precision from Simonen. And it's Manchester United 0, Tottenham 2.
That is a big sting for Manchester United. You felt that since the first Tottenham goal, United reacted well. We saw them hit the bar once again and have some opportunities. But on the stroke at half-time, Tottenham got the other end. And once again, it's Manchester United's box defending that lets them down once more. Simonen at the back post, heads it back across goal. It's a great header. The ball from Neville is brilliant. But Manchester United, in their own 18-yard box this season, have been all over the place.
Yeah.
I'd love to see how many goals they've conceded from within their own 6-yard box, because it is not good enough. And Mark Skinner looks like a very unhappy man right now, and understandably so, because once again, don't get me wrong, they've been a bit unfortunate in the final third, but in their own third, they've been absolutely terrible. And Tottenham have punished that fully.
There's Mallard.
Wow.
And it's one of those where, every stat points to. It's why stats require context, because every stat shows that United have played the better stuff, but actually they've created some chances, indeed, high volume of chances, but they've not done well enough in front of goal today. 3 shots on target from 14 shots. 1 big chance created to Tottenham's 3. Tottenham had 4 shots, 3 big chances. It's absolutely absurd. And a lot of that's come from United defensively, and I think a lot of it is down to the fatigue. I think we're seeing so many mistakes now from United's defensive players. And I think the fact they haven't, they can't rotate that back line at all, apart from the left back position, is seeing them struggle. But it's really tough to watch United right now. Yeah,
how as a back four from the organisation point of view, how do you end up in the both goals are exactly the same thing. Jade Riviere was left isolated by herself against a Tottenham player who, of course, is superior in the air. The first one was England, the second one was Simonen. Jade Riviere should not be in that position. She should not be left in a one-on-one with a Tottenham player to win a header at the back post. That's not where she should be.
Tottenham, by the way, only 1 goal more conceded than United this season now.
That defensive record is
And
in
when you
absolute
consider,
tatters.
well, yeah, and Tottenham, though, if you consider that 5 of those were against City,
Yeah.
that's only 8 goals conceded against the other teams in the league. And that is the half-time whistle here at the Leeds Sports Village. Manchester United 0, Tottenham 2. Beth England's header, towering header, gave them the advantage. She powered it past talent Tullis Joyce. It was then Sunderland with a more precise headed effort that saw Tottenham extend their advantage. Manchester United 0, Tottenham 2. And based on the live chat, there are some disgruntled Manchester United fans. So keep your thoughts coming in. Let us know what you thought of that first 45, what they should change. We don't want to hear just get Skinner out. That's not productive. Let us know your thoughts on that first 45 minutes. But yeah, not expected, Harry. Both of us went for United to win today at the top of the show. That could still very much happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tottenham, very good first 45.
Yeah, brilliant from Tottenham, and Martin Ho has got it spot on. Don't get me wrong. Let's start by saying, yes, they have had to ride their luck a little bit, but that is part and parcel of football. You might get away with it your end, but they've punished United in that United penalty area. It's been really good from Tottenham. I think defensively, it's been organised, it's been regimented, they've been disciplined, and yes, United hit the bar 3 times, but when you consider 2 of those were long range, efforts, and the other one was from a corner, I think you can't really criticise Tottenham's defensive organisation if people close down. If Miyazawa and Mallard were closed down so shots don't come off, then suddenly they don't hit the crossbar. And of course the corner wasn't great, but that was more on Lisa Cott missing the ball. But Tottenham did really well. I thought United started fast, and it was that first 10 minutes brilliant from United. If anything, though, it was too fast and it was too hard because, again, we'll come back to the same problems. They're too tired. They're being outworked by Tottenham right now. But I have sympathy for them. Usually, when a team is getting outworked, we sit here and go, it's lazy, it's too relaxed. They thought they'd turn up and steamroll them. But I don't think that's the case. I just think they're absolutely knackered. It's why in this game, I thought United for the first 20 minutes were the better side. But they ran out of steam. They ran out of puff.
Quite literally. I mean, the intensity early on, the speed with which they were closing down the ball, the desire they were showing to win it back was incredible. But after that, we've seen so many gaps emerge. I thought in the first 5-10 minutes this could be another result like the City game because United are basically dictating all of the ball.
Yeah.
Tottenham are all over the place at the moment, and there's a real intensity to United. But they have, as you say, they visibly ran out of steam in that half, and we saw Tottenham start to play through United like a hot knife through butter. They've had chances, United, early one here for Jess Park. She should have taken first time, waited, slowed it down. Not the right decision. Miyazawa's lashed a few against the bar as well, but I don't, as much as United have created chances, and on the merit of those, they deserve to be ahead. They've been so wasteful from those opportunities and haven't been good enough at the back.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that it's one of those where even if those say Miyazawa's long range effort had gone in, of course game state changes, but in terms of the Tottenham goals in isolation, United being 1-0 up doesn't change the fact. The difference would be it would be 2-1 Tottenham at half time rather than 2-0. I think that defensively all over the place again, both goals coming in transition, which once again highlights that fatigue for United, that the fact they just simply cannot track back because they haven't got the energy, or they were struggling, and Tottenham fully punished. I think defensively they've got a lot of problems, Manchester United, and again it's a really hard one to judge. Are they now in terms of United defending well? Was it just that Laetitia was getting them out of jail, and now that she's not, and then now it looks like they're all over the place? Or are there actual issues now that need to be addressed? I think that, again, it's really, really poor. It is so poor. I mean, the first goal, I said Riviere got isolated. That first one may have been her fault because she doesn't step up at all. Does not join. The rest of the back 3 go up. Riviere doesn't move. So to be fair on that one, that's less on the organisation and more on the fact that Riviere hasn't joined the back line.
I'd also bring into question Valentine's Joyce. I know she's just back from injury, but I think a fully fit and the Valentine's Joyce we've watched for the last year and a half saves that.
Yeah,
And
potentially
that is a big differentiator because she flaps at that. And I don't think she doesn't look on it for me.
Yeah, no, yeah, but it's obviously it's a good header from England. Of course, we spoke about it when it happened. The ball in from Holt is wizardry. The header from England is superb, but Riviera's got to step up there. If she gets up there with Laetitia, then suddenly Beth England's offside. The goal doesn't stand, doesn't matter. But yeah, United box defending is it's shocking. It's non-existent, is what it is.
Brilliant from the BBC, by the way, who can't spell Melvin Mallard. That is
ridiculous.
That is incredible that has gone through and no one's noticed that. But yeah, I think what's something I was going to mention? I think with Tyler's choice, it is Tottenham have done really well to capitalise on low XG chances because they've only created 0.67. Oh dear, in the first half, but they've turned that into 1.33 XGOT. So they've had, and that's been the complete difference really, because United have generated 1.18 XG, but Lisa Klopp's only faced 0.62.
Yeah.
So it's just a huge difference in clinicality. And then this second goal, it comes down to quite a few factors. I don't know where the centre halves are. I have to say.
Where is Laetitia at this point?
Letitia's gone out to left back.
Oh, yeah. And she's followed
loses her shape. Yeah. It leaves them open at the back. And where Laetitia normally would be, Riviere is not even challenging Summonen.
When
Mark's marking no one.
When the ball comes in, the three players defending the Man United 6-yard box are Anna Sandberg, Jade Riviere and Jess Park. None of them are going to win an aerial duel. Absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know why Laetitia was so far out of position there. And then stepped up and got caught.
And Janssen just decides not to get back into her 6-yard box and help out, just stands there. I think, but again, they're not playing well, but that has to be a consequence of the fact that they are the only two centre-halves at the bloody club.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. No wonder they're making errors. No wonder they're a bit fatigued and are a bit all over the place, because I'd be scrambled if I was playing 90 minutes after 90 minutes after 90 minutes. Janssen's also a bit more because she has been rested every now.
She got suspended as well.
Yeah, she probably did that on purpose. She probably told the referee, send me off against Atletico Madrid so I can get a rest. But yeah, United have to, again, the bottom line is they have to invest. Of course they do, but you can't just blame. And I know the higher ups are a lot of the blame. The majority of the blame can go to the higher ups because the recruitment and the depth is not there. But you also have to address what's happening on the pitch. The organisation from the 11 players that is out there isn't good enough, and they need to shore up because tracking back Ziggiotti nowhere to be seen. And with how good that Tottenham pivot is, you need Miyazawa and Ziggiotti to work well today. And at the moment, it just feels like it's just been Miyazawa. And that is it.
And I think, people talk about, it's quite easy to say, Laetitia is tired, she's so fatigued, but to put it into perspective, there have only been 2 midweeks now since the start of the campaign that she's not played two sets of 90 minutes.
Wow.
She has since, because of the Champions League prelims, they started the season, and in the first few weeks, they had a gap between Arsenal and Liverpool, and then a gap between Liverpool and Chelsea. Since then, because of the Champions League and the fact she's playing every single England game in this period, she has played 90 minutes every midweek, and then every weekend. Only 2 weeks this season has Laetitia not played an entire 90 minutes. And so it's no surprise that we get to this end of the season. And she looked abysmal against OL Lyonnes. She was the worst player on the pitch against Wolfsburg in the Champions League before that. She was poor against City as well. And she's struggling again today.
Yeah.
Laetitia looks a player who's desperate for the winter break. Yeah. Because she's just played so much football.
But even before that winter break, we know she'll probably play 90 minutes on Wednesday and probably play 90 minutes against Tottenham next weekend. It's absurd.
Yeah.
And it's a massive concern. Because if United don't recruit, then they could find someone to spot a bowler.
And this is why I don't think Hannah Lump is a bad signing at all. But why on earth are United targeting a backup right back when they've got a backup right back rather than a centre half?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If I'm Mark Skinner, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that dressing room right now. But I think first thing he'll do after this game is get on the phone to the higher ups and say, I need players.
I don't know if he's got Surgeon Ratcliffe's mobile. But we'll find out shortly. I think he's ringing him up now.
Yeah. You get down here and you get me in centre half, the second half.
Yeah. desperately need one. But, you know, Turner's not going to be back this season. She's out with an ACL, I believe, or it may have just been, I can't remember. I think it was a knee injury, though.
Yeah.
At the very least. So she's, you know, not going to be back likely to the end of the season now. So they have to sign a centre-back.
They have to.
Unless they're going to bring Evie Rabjohn back. But we've never seen going to play a youth player. So, yeah, United have to bring in a centre-half in January. If they don't, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, you can criticise... I think there are viable things you can criticise Skinner on at times. I think he's not good enough at rotating his squad, but I think that's his biggest weakness. But equally, who is there to bring in?
Yeah, because we look at Wednesday. Look at Wednesday. That's why he doesn't rotate. Because you bring in players like Awujo, you bring in players like Rachel Williams, and I know it was OL Lyonnes, but they're not up to the standard. They're not up to the standard to play elite level football. And they've got to sort it out in January, because if we're looking at the consequences, if they don't turn it around today, they're 5th in the league. And that's not where Man United should be at all. So, yeah, that they need to sort it out. And as you say, if they do fall to 5th, then that's going to put a lot of pressure onto those cup competitions, which in the cups, they'd want to rotate so they could give players rests. But now they're going to have to prioritise both, because if they're not going to get Champions League, they need silverware. That is kind of the unwritten rule of being a top club. If you're not going to get into the top 3 and qualify for the Champions League, you have to come in with a trophy. But if they don't turn it around in the second half, then they could be in a spot where, of course, there's a massive 45 minutes coming their way, and they could turn this around. But again, we mentioned those fitness issues. If I'm Martin Ho and I'm Tottenham, I'm sat there thinking, right, if we get to the 70th minute and we're still 2-0 up, they will tire, and we know their bench isn't very strong, so we should see the game out. So I think the first 20-25 minutes of this second half will be absolutely crucial. But of course, United could turn it around, but we have to look at the consequences, and if they don't turn it around, then they're going to go into the winter break in a very difficult situation.
And for Tottenham, if they can hold on today, they sit 4th in the league, level on points with 3rd place Arsenal.
Wow.
Is there actually a chance they get Champions League? They come back after the winter break to Leicester at home, Liverpool away, West Ham away. That is a run of games they'll look at very favourably. And it's worth bearing in mind that Arsenal in that period have to play United, Chelsea, and then they don't have a game on the 1st of February because they're playing in the FIFA Champions Cup. So there's every chance that in that run they can jump Arsenal. They're already now ahead of United as it stands in this game. There's still a long way to go. Maybe United will turn it around, or at least pull back a draw, which changes this conversation somewhat. But at what point do we consider that Tottenham could actually qualify for the Champions League at this rate?
Yeah, the biggest question, of course, they had a bright start, but the biggest question, because of what we learned from Brighton last season, was consistency. Can they maintain the level they're at for that long? Brighton last season, they didn't do it. They started really fast, but they dropped off as we got closer and closer to winter, and then we got to the new year and it fell away. But we are halfway through the season now, and Tottenham have shown...
It's the same point that it fell apart for Brighton. I will say is I think the most important thing is the winter window, is that Brighton signed Caitlin Hayes, and I think that was it. I don't remember another signing for Brighton.
There weren't any ceiling raises or like eye-opening signings.
No, Caitlin Hayes came in because there was an injury to Karabali and to Venegas, so they had to sign a centre-back. And so they brought in Caitlin Hayes. Other than that, I can't recall a signing that Brighton made in that January window. Tottenham are going into January. They were competing for Hannah Lundqvist. It looks like she'll go to United now. They've signed Signa Gaupset, which is insane. And you've got to imagine they'll be looking at others. There is serious investment right now in Tottenham, and I think they've got to believe that the sky's the limit. Really, I mean, there's no way they win the league title this season. If it looks like the title race is a 2-horse race right now. One horse, really.
1.5.
Yeah, one horse is very far ahead of the other, but you can never rule Chelsea out. But Tottenham will have their eyes on that 3rd place. I fully believe that they'll back themselves.
Yeah, or even so, they'll even if they finish 4th or 5th. But I think they'll also be looking at that Women's League Cup. They'll also be looking at the FA Cup as potentially. We know that Tottenham got to the final 2 years ago. And I know that Villaham season was quite good, but this Martin Ho side is better than anything we saw under Villaham. So, yeah, I definitely think if they... Big 45 minutes now. This result could really dictate how the second half of the season goes. Because if they go into the winter break only 2 points off Chelsea, that is a very good position to be. Massive 45 minutes now for both these sides coming up.
Yeah, I imagine if they hadn't lost to London City, Tottenham would be sat 2nd in the league. That is ridiculous. We're about to get back underway. Ella Toon from the middle, waiting for the referees. We're still to get us back underway here at the League Sports Village. No changes for either side. There needs to be a change in mentality for United, though. First half wasn't good enough. Will the second be better? Toon from the middle, waiting for he slips. Whistle. Knocks it back, and we're back underway here at the League Sports Village. Manchester United with a 2-goal deficit to make up in this second half. Can Tottenham hold on, or can United find a way to fight back? Well, it's Tottenham coming forwards early in this second half. Here's Martha Thomas, wants to take on Anna Sandberg. Sandberg, though, uses her body well, gets between Thomas and the ball, and United back in possession. Letitia carrying it down the right-hand side. Jess Park receives it well, turns back, finds Letitia. Letitia is going to look to play that in behind. Headed away well, though, by Claire Hunt. And now two. Letitia. Here's Janssen. Finds Hinata Miyazawa, who's going to look to spread it to the right-hand side. Riviere busts her gut to get there, and she will do. Now puts it into the area. Headed away well by Claire Hunt. Here is Park. Toon back towards Jess Park. Opens up the body, strikes with the left foot. But Claire Hunt does well there to get in front of it. Blocks it away.
Yeah, good start by Manchester United. Exactly what they need to do. They need to come out hard and fast here and look to get at least one goal back in the early stages to give them something to work with. If they allow Tottenham to get back into their rhythm and flow, then it's going to be very difficult to turn this around.
Yeah, absolutely. Letitia back now into Tullis Joyce. And now Janssen into Sandberg. Goes down the line to Melvin Mallard. Wants to take on Neville. Exchanges with Miyazawa. Mallard released down the left-hand side. Some of them, though, will get there. And now trying to knock it down the line and does so. Finds Thomas. Great resistance there against the pressure of Sandberg. Miyazawa to Ziggiotti, back to Park. Lovely football. Squeeze it through to Ella Toon. That is not a great effort from Toon. Would have wanted to wrap her foot around the ball, drive more power around that, but it's poked straight at the keeper.
Yeah, better from United. Yeah, a bit of a soft effort there from Toon. Should have liked to get a bit more behind it, but it's better football, combining well in that central area. Park, Toon, and Ziggiotti. Just got to make it count. And a better effort there could have got one back for United.
Yeah, absolutely. Letitia. And now Janssen. To Letitia. Now Jade Riviere. Looks to slip it in behind. I couldn't choose between slot and slip. Either way, it comes to nothing though as it runs out of play. Nancy says, not sharp enough in anything we do. A27 saying, Toon, that is so bad. Yeah, I should have got more behind the shot. And yes, Anthony United severely lacking that intensity. Still, Miyazawa. Now Ziggiotti back to Miyazawa. And the difference is as well now is that Tottenham have something to defend.
Yeah.
And it's not just a 1-goal margin. Like, they can afford to sit really deep and just see this game out now. And that's really good from Wimberg. Use their body, shrugs Riviere off the pitch.
The other problem United have got is they can't just go for it, because the threat that United have on the counter-attack, obviously it will change as we get later and later on into the half, but right now United can't just throw players at it because Tottenham will just counter on them and make it 3-0.
Yeah.
So at the moment, United are still having to be a little bit reserved and a bit balanced in the way they come forwards. That will change though once we get towards the 70th minute and if it is still 2-0.
Summoning out to the right-hand side, Neville. Back now to Turko Koga. And now Neville wants to play it in behind. Lovely pass now. Doesn't quite stay on the field of play though. Just needed a more favourable bounce there to get Thomas in. And again, we're seeing that same fluidity. Thomas moving between that right wing and striker position. England dropping in, Holt pulling into different positions to receive the ball, offer a different option at times. Now, Maya Letitia. Riviere. Turland up against Hunt. Really good stuff there from Hunt.
What it shows with that Tottenham front four is that you can use your system and you can make tweaks to the tactics to make the best of your situation. If Martin Ho had just played exactly the same way as they have all season and just thrown Marta Thomas out onto the right-hand side to do the same role as Jess Naz, she'd have been very ineffective and it would have hurt Tottenham today. But because he's made that tweak to allow Thomas to be able to move around and be fluid and to take that kind of more central spot when England drops in, it means that she's useful and she can offer something to that Tottenham front line.
I think this has been a theme of Ho is maximising individuals. Yeah. I think the system isn't just like, this is the system and then, you've got to fit into it. It's designed around how to get the most out of every individual player. And there are slight tweaks week on week to make it accommodate different individuals. So when Thomas needs to come in, Tottenham have changed up how they're playing ever so slightly to make it work. They're just slightly between Neville and Rybring. When it was Rybring, it's a bit more of a back three. When Neville plays at right back, she's given a little bit more license to get forward, and everyone adjusts. Everyone accumulates for that. Really good block there from Thomas, getting back in deal with Sandberg.
Yeah, United still probing, but no clear-cut chances so far in this second half. You feel that they need to at least need to start putting Lisa Kopp under a bit more pressure. If they're not going to find that goal, you've got to start testing Kopp, got to start testing Tottenham, make them a little bit nervy about the fact that you could get back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Ziggiotti over this. That's towards the back post. Good header wide of the mark, though. Turland did well, created herself a pocket of space there. But the uncontested header is nodded wide. Now Skinner and Roberts in a discussion about how to change things up.
Say Mark Skinner going to the notebook there.
The little notebook.
Yeah, I
don't know. Managers go to the tactical board before, and that doesn't always go well for them in the media, but Skinner preparing his little red notebook.
Yeah, and hopefully for United fans that'll have the answer to all their problems.
Yeah. But
I don't think there's a centre-back in that notebook.
Maybe there is. There's just loads of centre-backs that he'd like to sign.
That's his shopping list that he's going to go give to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Right, go out in January and get me this, this and this, and I'll win you the league.
And it's Jess Park, United coming forward. Swan back well in there by Evelina Summonen. Spence. And there was a foul in there. Ziggiotti's catch. Summonen, she just laughs at the referee's decision. Toon's furious as well. Summonen laughs at Toon, and Toon does not take it well at all.
I tell you what, Ziggiotti's brave, laughing at Emily Heaslip.
Yeah, I thought she was going to get sent off.
If I made a foul, I'd just walk off. It is a foul.
That's the difference. Look at United's frustration. Now, that's quite clearly a foul, and Ziggiotti's acting like it's some egregious act. Ella Toon's going over it, and Summonen just laughs at her.
Yeah. But I don't understand. I know it's their frustrations. They're not really thinking properly. They're not too bothered about whether it's right. But Ziggy, that is a foul. She knows that's a foul.
Do you think United are cracking under the pressure if they are to lose? Say they dropped to fifth, they'd put themselves 2 points off Arsenal, 2 points off Tottenham.
Yeah, I think as a big side, you absolutely feel it when things go against you. It's very rare as world-class players and as a top team. It's very rare that you are on the brink of losing your fourth game in your last five. And so it's a very rare position to be in as a...
And 5 in 7.
Yeah.
When you go back to the Villa game.
True. So it's a very difficult position to be in. And it's a position that they're not used to playing in. It's, as a top side, you're used to getting positive results out of the majority of your matches. We've seen it over the last couple of years. When Arsenal had their drop off under Eidevall. I mean, Chelsea lost one game and it went to pandemonium. But still, I think as players in the camp, they'll be feeling the pressure.
Carried it forwards, and Ziggiotti brings her down, and she'll get booked for it. But Olivia Hull is completely unplayable out there at the moment. United just don't know how to handle her. She keeps picking up the ball and just driving it forwards, and
beats one.
This is excellent.
Beats two, gets fouled by the It's just you can't stop her. You really can't. But this is the problem. But United's base of midfield is losing their heads a little bit, and around it, the team has crumbled. Zigiotti has had a really poor game and is now just going around smashing into people. And Miyazawa is really struggling because she's getting no help from Zigiotti.
I think United will look at it as well as the fact that so far this season, the only side in the top half of the table they're beating is London City. And yeah, I mean, and then after that, Brighton are 7th, and they struggled to beat them, and they lost to Aston Villa in 8th. So
yeah, I mean, they did well. Also, they got draws at Chelsea and Arsenal, but they've undone that work by losing to City, and now on the brink of losing to Tottenham. That's not a bad ball in, runs all the way through and out for a goal kick. But yeah, and that's the problem. Is that I understand why they played the way they did against Arsenal and Chelsea, but by drawing those games, you then don't have any buffer if you do lose. Because now, if they'd lost, losing to City and Tottenham wouldn't be too bad if they'd beaten Arsenal and Chelsea. But by playing to draw those games, you're then putting pressure on yourself to not lose your other big games.
Neville launches it up the line. Thomas can't quite get there, but does enough to put Janssen off. Zigiotti, Janssen, one back in there well by Beth England. Holt squeezes out of a tight space, actually runs into Evelina Simonen there. The United players can't stop her, but Simonen can.
Yeah. But just like that, 11 minutes of the second half already passed, and United haven't had a shot on target.
Yeah.
Really not kicked on the way they needed to.
Well, one shot on target.
Oh, okay.
That was the early one from Toon that.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
Didn't put much on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, since that moment in the 48th minute, almost 10 minutes on, haven't seen much from United. Sandberg. Flicked on. Mallard takes aim. It's blocked. She claims it's handball. She is the only complainant involved, and now there's not a move backwards. Game will be stopped as Hunt is down injured.
Yeah, and he's going to need treatment. I think she took the ball to the face, or either it did hit her hand, and she's playing it off really well. But I think it did strike her in the face. But I also think it's a big test of the fan base now for United, because I think that it is difficult as a football fan when your side losing, but especially when you've no, it's not hit her face. It's not hit her arm at all. Hit her side, and then Mallard's just followed through into her. But it's a big test now of atmosphere, and because you've got to get it. You've got, of course, you need to be behind your side, but it's very difficult when the results aren't going your way. But also, when your top players aren't performing, when things aren't going well for your team, you have to look for the positives, and usually that's in individual performances, and you can do that for some players. But you know your fan favourites, the Ella Toons, the Jess Parks, the Maya Letitiers of the team. But when they're not delivering, it's very hard. I mean, I think again, Ella Toon. I don't really know. Just hasn't got involved. Last season, she was the kind of player that could completely turn games for United, and it could go from being
at the start of the season, I think it was working well for her in that sort of left half space. But yeah, I think I don't know what's going wrong at the moment. Toon just doesn't seem quite as polished.
No,
I think even last season there were moments where she shone, but there are others where she didn't.
Well, this is interesting then. Rolfo on for Zigiotti. I think that speaks volumes as to Zigiotti's performance today.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of movement. Presumably, I've no idea what they're doing here, actually.
Neither.
Park central midfield?
Yeah, potentially.
I think that's sort of all they can do.
But again, it also speaks volumes of the depth. Mark Skinner could have brought in a Wujo, could have brought in Nalsoon. Doesn't want to do either of that.
So it's a midfield 3 now with Miyazawa as a single pivot, the 2 10s, and now Rolfo on the left. No, Rolfo on the right hand side. Here's Toon, cuts it back. Spence there to block it.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Martin Ho,
can drive it away.
I'm looking at my brilliant midfield composition of Spence and Sumner, and I'm thinking, well, we're in this game. Yeah, United were getting overran as it was, and now Miyazawa was in there all. Well, I think she was in there. It felt like she was in there all alone anyway, to be honest. Yeah, Zigiotti was a real breath of fresh air, but I think again maybe it's a fatigue issue. But I thought today she is really, really poor. Just got completely overran, and then when things weren't going her way, just resorted to getting frustrated and taking people out.
Fouls, yeah. Anyway, Koga. Going to go more direct with this one. Tottenham and flicked on by Thomas will run through to Valentinus Joyce.
Well, if United are going to turn this around, it's going to be late and it's going to be great. But half an hour remaining, and to be honest, even yes, a point would be big from this position, but it would still be a loss to City, Chelsea, and Arsenal this weekend.
Pass forward now into Fridolina. Rolfo's going to put it in behind, looking for Toon. Claimed well though by Lisa Kopp. Now Neville. Back to Koga. And Kopp again. And now Koga. Sliding it into midfield. That's brilliant from Olivia Holt. He'll carry it forward. Janssen tries to bring her down. But here come Tottenham. Holt into Thomas to score! Martha Thomas, who hasn't scored a WCL goal since December 2023, lashes it home. And it's Manchester United 0, Tottenham 3.
Wow, wow, wow. What a moment for Martha Thomas. It's that kind of day for Tottenham where everything is going so well. And for United, it is going terribly. The relief, the emotion for Thomas, that is absolutely massive. And fair play to her because she's played well today. Brilliance from Holt again. Picks the ball up in her own half. Runs all the way to the United penalty area. Lays it off to Thomas, who does so well. A player without confidence could squander this, but she just drives power through it. Beats Tallis Joyce with the pace on the ball. And deservedly finds the back of the net. A year and a half since she last scored in the WSL.
2 years.
2 years. That is a massive goal. Fair play to her. What a moment for Martha Thomas. And what a moment for Tottenham.
I was going to say just over an hour played here, but dear oh dear, Manchester United.
It was hit hard, but Tallis Joyce again gets two hands to it, doesn't save it. She did get two hands to it, which I think it was hit hard, but still, but again defensively, Tottenham as a Holt spins Janssen and suddenly it's a 3-on-3, and they're at 6s and 7s at the back there. United, they really are.
Yeah.
3-0.
Miyazawa into Turland. Now drives it low, drives it wide, and they just look devoid of belief now. United. The wind has gone from their sails.
Yeah. Who have they got in the midweek in the Champions League?
They play Juventus.
Wow.
An in-form Juventus side, and then they play Tottenham in the Women's League Cup.
Actually, my point was going to be...
They come back to Arsenal and Aston Villa.
Wow. My point was going to be is that they get at least they get a chance to redeem themselves in 7 days' time in the League Cup. But I was going to say if they got a team they could rest against in the Champions League, but if they rest against Juventus, they will lose that game.
I think they will rest it though.
They probably will, and they probably will lose. But the problem is yes, that will help them at the weekend, but another loss just knocks them down even further.
Yeah.
Also, I know they're through in the Champions League, but from a mentality point of view, in the camp, they need to get a win on the board.
It's more the nature of this defeat. The fact that they look all over the place.
I mean, Martineau's taking his coat off. That's how much he's enjoying himself.
He's got up from running around.
Yeah. Yeah, he's come back to his old stomping ground and I wouldn't say he's schooling Skinner, because I'm not really sure. I mean, he's got it right. He's got it absolutely bang on, Martineau. I don't necessarily think Skinner's got it too wrong, but yeah. As you say, this is convincing from Tottenham. Really is.
Tries to play it to the edge. Neville gets it away from Mallard. It's a lovely exchange between Holt and Thomas. Olivia Holt is absolutely stealing the show here.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe she had to spend a year sat on the bench while Robert Villaharm decided to play anybody else. But it's just incredible how good she is.
Ball in behind from Neville. It's going to run through again to Valentine's Joyce. He throws it out to the right-hand side. Toon. Force back to Letitia. And now Toon in behind. Gogol will get there again. Knocks it out of play.
Well, I said earlier this could be a really competitive game. And, it could go either way. It's two good sides. I never saw this coming. I did not expect today to see Tottenham blow United out of the water. There's still 25 minutes to go. Yes, United could get a couple of goals, but there's more chance that Tottenham get another one and make it even more convincing.
Miyazawa. Now Janssen. Wide into Sandberg. Ball into the box.
Oh, wow.
Back over from Rolfo. Not United's day.
That has to go.
Yeah. It's a big opportunity missed.
Yeah. Best chance of second half for Man United. On the penalty spot. Great from Sandberg. Beats Thomas. Cuts it back. Edge of the 6-yard box for Rolfo. And just shins it over the bar.
20 shots. 2.09 XG. 4 shots on target.
Wow.
Yeah, to score. Leo Gouton's coming on.
It is a attacking player. That's the yeah. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think she's gonna inspire a amazing comeback, but you never know.
Gotta believe.
Yeah, but again though, who else can Mark Skinner call upon?
Yeah,
and this has been the problem in these kind of games in the last few games where they have lost. Is if the first
keeps that in touch well, ball in. It's not troubling anyone though.
But if in this run of poor games, when the first 11 hasn't worked or the starting team hasn't worked, Skinner hasn't got enough to call upon to turn it around. You look at Arsenal, you look at City, you look at Chelsea. If they're losing or they're struggling, they make a triple change and they turn the game on its head. But United cannot do that, and it hurts when I mean, it wouldn't make a difference today, but in the games like the Villa one, in the Wolfsburg one was ridiculous. I don't know what happened in that game. Both sides just forgot to defend.
It's Sandberg. There's not the ball on the pitch. He's just not worried.
Yeah.
To Sandberg. Great tackle that. Martha Thomas, what performance.
Yeah.
I did a video not too long ago talking about players in WSL. In fact, it was Friday. Players in WSL who need a move. I included Martha Thomas. And I said in that video, not WSL level. Not able to contribute to this Tottenham team. Needs a move. Should make a move down to WSL 2. Get some goals. Come back up. She's been brilliant today.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant today.
Just incredible. And I think it's a testament to her because it's very easy as a player when you don't score in the league for 2 years to get bogged down and to just turn up, or either to not stop turning up or not be too bothered. But she's kept going at it, kept working for it. We know when he starts, she's having that time and still hasn't delivered. But today, it has been a performance of the highest quality.
But I think, to come into this game, she hasn't started a league game all season, but she's worked really hard, in other competitions to earn these minutes.
Yeah.
She's come in today with an injury crisis, not playing her favoured role, and she's scored. And I think her defensive work's been even more impressive than that goal.
Mm.
The way that she's been helping to double up, making life really difficult for Melvin Mallard. Yeah, so impressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, Tottenham are absolutely cruising now. Hunt.
And I think, as we said, of course, this is terrible for United.
Hull is in acres.
Yeah.
The midfield's gone now.
Yeah.
They took off Zigiotti to go for the game. It's left them completely open. Sandberg.
I think the thing for United is that, of course, but this is a very good Tottenham side. I think like we have to. Of course, I think with the run they're on makes us look a lot worse. And 3-0 at home to a side that you should be better than is not a good result. But Tottenham, we know how good Tottenham have been this season. That's not a bad ball in. They get it
from Mallard, headed away. Now it's going to drop for Wimberg, who will get it clear.
But that's the story of the game. United put a cross in. Who meets it first? A Tottenham shirt. Ball falls to Mallard. Who gets in front of it and blocks it? A Tottenham shirt.
Yeah.
And that has just been everything that's happened for United. Everything they've tried to do, a Tottenham player's got there first. Every time they've had a shot, Tottenham have got a body in front of it.
Sandberg back to Dominic Janssen. And now it's with Maya Letitia into Riviere, who now finds Hinata Miyazawa. And now Mallard lays it off. Ella 2 now, gearing up for the strike, takes aim from range. Can't find the target on this occasion.
Yeah, drags it wide. They're going to keep fighting United, but it feels like this could be 20 minutes. If Tottenham remain regimented, it could be 20 minutes that kind of runs away from them quickly.
Yeah, well, the chat's been full of United fans not particularly happy, but League Lover, welcome to the stream, says, go on, you Spurs. Well,
there we go. Someone's having fun. Someone's enjoying themselves tonight.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think there'll be a lot of Tottenham fans who should start watching the women's team because Tottenham men have lost 3-0 to a team in the relegation zone before today. And Tottenham women are beating a team 3-0 who are in the Champions League places.
Yeah, incredible. But yeah, Tottenham fans should be absolutely buzzing with the turnaround they've had this season. The change in fortune. Yeah. It's just been crazy. But look at the football. Like, it's not that... Yeah, they went from a side who only got results through riding their luck. You know, we laugh at them all the time as beating Leicester last season without having a single shot on target. But this season, it's just that everything they do is through their own... It's deserved. You know, they bring their own luck. They work hard. It's just phenomenal.
They've got a distinct brand of football. They've got a manager who is clearly incredibly good in Martin Ho, not just at being able to set a team up, but instilling a belief and a mentality in his side, at trusting players, and not just bringing in young players, bedding in new signings, but trusting players who really struggled last season. We've spoken at length about the likes of Hunt and Spence and Summerlin and Neville and Nilden who stepped their level up. But to bring Martha Thomas into this side today, a player who hasn't played for them yet this season, a player who hadn't scored a goal before today's game in the WSL since December 2023. To bring her in today and for her to score and not only score but put in a fantastic performance in what's not a natural position is just a testament to what Martin Ho has built. Ralph into the box now. Mallard header towards Skull. Can't full claim for Lisa Cop. Surely Tottenham start thinking about changes soon. Maybe a Gunning Williams at right wing. Give her an opportunity now that they're comfortable.
They can rotate. Tottenham, I did not think Tottenham were in a position today to rotate. Yeah, get Martha Thomas up and get her a standing ovation from those away fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'd say Aria Dennis is probably pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep the clean sheet. I mean, Aria Dennis, I think, is a very talented young player, but hasn't played much yet.
Tottenham are now in a position where, rest up, come back in 7 days and
bring Kit Graham on.
Give us some minutes, take United on once again and look to get into the semi-finals of the League Cup.
Yeah, that'll be their ultimate goal. Lisa's good stream and commentary, guys. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate the support.
I think Nilden has been booked there for running off with the ball when it wasn't her throw.
I did wonder if it was Skinner. That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
The Skinner suspension.
Get sent off. Roberts takes the team in the League Cup. They're in 4-0. Roberts at the wheel.
And now coming down the left-hand side is Galton. Now Toon. Back now into Janssen. Finds Park. Toon now in the pocket. Feeds it through. Looking for Galton. Cross into the box. And they're looking for a goal at United. And that is a brilliant strike from Ella Toon. Falls to her in the penalty area, loops it round. Very muted celebration from Toon. And Mallard quick to get the ball back because United have to believe they can get something now. United 1, Tottenham 3.
Well, is it game on here? Much better from United. Work it well around the Tottenham penalty area. Tottenham just switch off a little bit. Don't really clear the ball. And that's the first time that a clearance as Tottenham failed to clear it, and then it falls to United player, and Toon punishes. Lovely little half volley, lifts it over Cop, and United have 16 minutes now to find 2 goals at the very least if they want to take anything from this game. Summerlin and Mallard had a bit of a fight. I think that was because when Mallard got the ball back, she decided to throw, I think was it Koga, into the net, and Summerlin didn't appreciate that.
Riviere clears it only as far as Olivia Holt, who will carry it forwards now and ball out to the left-hand side. England. Spence. Back to Beth England. And now it's with Holt. England. Nildum. And Simonon goes back to Hunt. Anson says Galton's still our best winger. Can't believe it. Yeah, last season everyone was desperate for United to get rid of Leah Galton, bring in someone. Contributing well there. And that tackle from Beth England is so strong, it has broken the sideboard.
Oh, it's back.
It's back working pretty quickly. Riviere.
Tell you what, we could be in for a very exciting final 15 minutes if United get another one.
Yeah, Tottenham just got to switch back in to defensive mode. Got to think about. Yeah, just got to get back in, be disciplined, be regimented to see this game out.
Yeah.
If they get through the next 10 minutes without conceding, they should be fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, that United goal didn't come from beautiful football exactly, did it, from
No.
United? But
was this a corner? Inconclusive.
Very difficult to say whether that's touch Newton or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, quarter of an hour left to play. Mark Skinner looks a frustrated man.
Yeah, there seems to have been a lot of heated conversation between on that United bench, which is understandable because I think across on and off the pitch there's a lot of frustration setting in, but there's probably a little bit of disagreement across the board.
Yeah, I can imagine so. They're currently about to lose their fifth match in the last 7.
Yeah. I think Skinner will be feeling it. We know the standard he set. We know the standard that he sets himself, and that not in terms of he thinks he could lose his job, but in terms of the standard he sets himself and he sets for his team. You know, we know Skinner wants to go out and compete with the best teams in the world. We know he wants to, go and win the league and win trophies. But I think he'll be frustrated that right now they look miles away from that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. I don't think we're anywhere near either of our Arsenal territory.
No.
I don't see him, after this game, just walking out, quitting, mic drop moment. But I think, he's got them into the Champions League for the first time this season. That's a great strike from Park. Save well too.
Oh my God!
Crushed it against the bar. Galton to Rolfo sends it over.
That's a chance. Toon had to score.
That would have brought the game alive. And Toon. How does that not go in?
That was the
Chest
chance.
part, that's brilliant. Ella Toon at close range.
Oh, wow.
Smashes it into the bar.
Wow. Fourth time in this game, Manchester United have hit the crossbar. And it's the 4th different player to do it. That's got to be some kind of record.
Yeah.
Wow. That would have been game on. How was Toon not found the back of the net that one?
I mean, how have United not scored more? 2.7
No.
XG.
Ridiculous.
So wasteful in this game for United. 25 shots. Just 6 have been on target.
Not good enough. Not good enough from United. But yeah. Yeah, the crossbars are getting a good run out today at the Leeds Sports Village.
Well, Molly Bartrip coming on.
Oh,
You assume that is... Well, Toko Koga just come back from injury, so you would think that maybe for Koga, that may be for a forward, and Tottenham are just going to sit in here in a 5-back.
Yeah.
No, they just seem to be getting
momentum
stretched
shifting
a little bit. That's good from Neville. Jumps in front of Galton. Pokes it out of play well. Ball back down the line from Sandberg, and Simonon can send this one forwards. Holt against Galton comes off Sandberg out for the Tottenham throw. But Olivia Holt's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is Beth England's making way to replace by Molly Bartrip. So unless Bartrip's going on for a stint up front, this will be a shape change for Tottenham. As their vice-captain leaves the field to be replaced by the club captain.
They are going to sit very, very deep now for the next 11 minutes. And try and hold on to what they've got here, Tottenham. Smiles all round for England and hope. Well, they'll be cheering come the full-time whistle
For Ho and Co.
for Ho and Co.
Here's Neville. Thrown in to Holt. Back now to Neville. Flicked on well by Vinberg. Now Holt. Back to Ash Neville. Lifting it through to Holt, who's taking this to the corner. I don't think that went off. But it is out for a throw.
I say, who is I don't know who Martin Ho's right hand man is, but those two are constant. Like, I don't think they seem to join the hip in this game.
Oh, I don't know. Thomas Partridge runs to the screen saying, looks like Manchester ordering extra paint this week for the goalpost. Yeah, paint it bright yellow. Maybe that would see it better. The white's been too much of a target. Or red. The colour of danger. And love.
Don't hit this. Put the ball under this line.
Also look a bit Christmassy, so that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Pass out. I don't think they're allowed to do that. It's
No.
Sandberg. They could change the colour of the net so you could see it a bit better.
It is yeah. You can't really. It is red and black, isn't it? You can't really see it. I'm sure the players can.
Here's Jans. Oh yeah, I'm sure over there we know there's a net on the goal. It's just Park opening up for the shot. Mallard in the box. Rolfo does turn it home, and it's game on.
Wow.
United 2, Tottenham 3. And there was a little bit of a debate there between Heaslip and the others. I think it was just about the ball in the back of the net. But wow, Tottenham from 3-0 up. It's now 3-2.
Wow.
Is there time left in this game for Manchester United?
Did not see this coming. On 60 minutes, United looked down and out. But with 9 minutes to play, the margin is 1. Wow. This is a test of Tottenham's mettle now.
Yeah, they don't react quick enough in the box.
Their box defending's just fallen away for both goals.
This Jess Park's effort was blocked. No one reacts quick enough, and Rolfo just about pokes it through the crowd of bodies and makes the back of the net ripple. 82nd minute then, 8 to play plus additional time.
In for a very tasty finish here.
Well, can United find a leveller? Could United even win this game? Miyazawa.
Oh, here we go.
Onto Park. Out to the left-hand side. Sandberg. Back to Park. Tottenham. Satina 5-4-1. Neville steps up. Leaves space on the left-hand side. Gets back in. Goughton now. Park. United suddenly moving this ball with a bit of zip.
Where's this kind of energy come from?
Letitia. Park. Wide to Riviere, space in behind here, cuts it back, Copriac, shot him out off the line. What a save, what a block from Molly Bartrip. Wow, Melvin Mallard, that should be 3-3.
How is he not in the goal? How is this ball not in the goal? Cop drops it, falls to Mallard, and Bartrip gets the block in.
And now there's about 5 Tottenham players on the deck needing treatment.
Everyone's down. Wow. That should be United level. Here we go. United are getting the notebook out now. Ella Toon is going to be showing some pieces of paper here. But yeah, where has this energy been from?
Centre backs on the side.
What do you think of this one? So now that we saw Kopp drop it for one of the first 2 goals, drops it again there and gets away with it. What a block from Bartrip. Tottenham riding their luck in that one. But yeah, where was this energy? Where was this kind of football from United, 30 minutes ago? Still got 6 minutes plus additional time here for Manchester United to find 1, if not 2 goals.
Yeah. Yeah, they've started to actually put their shots on target.
Yep.
And Tottenham are under the cosh now. 6 to play. Well, BBC are predicting a goal here based on that graphic. Let's see if it will go in. Sandberg. Ball into the front post, bounces around. Cop up to claim it, and Cop does hold on to it this time.
Needed to. Should drop that at Fulham for Riviere for 3-3.
84th minute, leads a Cop. It's going to slow us down as much as possible. See, Emily Heaslip, though, has her fingers in the air as quickly as possible. Similar.
It's not convincing, is it, from Tottenham?
Spence. Between Vinberg and Similar, they think it's a free kick in there. It has been given as such.
United have done it again.
Tottenham bench have jumped up at United's bench there after that challenge. They didn't enjoy it.
It's that United bloke with the initials on his name. It happened in the midweek.
Always there.
Whenever United want to get angry at something, they send him up. And he gets really...
I don't know who he is. He must have just been employed. But I've never seen that up on LinkedIn.
He's the only coach without his initials on his jacket. And they just, every time they want to get angry, they send him up there.
Anonymous, aggressive man.
That's where the money went. They hired a bloke to get angry.
Here is Miyazawa. Time ticking away. United, though. It'll feel like that. For Tottenham, it'll feel like an age. They had this game sewn up. It was comfortable. Somehow United have been offside. They had this game sewn up and it was comfortable, but now...
Squeaky bum time.
It's narrow. It's tight. And Skinner looks like a man who has belief in his heart once again.
He's now talking to a chair.
There wasn't anyone there.
No.
It must be the anonymous angry man.
Yeah.
Sandberg headed away. I'm going to find out who that man is at some point.
Yeah. But not to the end of the season. When they'll let go of him. So
we're bringing him on. He's doing a show.
Why are you getting paid to be angry?
Podcast with Mark Skinner's mouthpiece. Here's Ash Neville. Throws it into Hull, who holds onto the ball well. Goughton puts her under pressure. Poked out by Goughton. Tottenham throw.
Right decision that. Well watched. These are always the hardest. Tottenham are going to hold it in the corner for the final. Thing is, they're holding it in the corner now, but they might have to do it for another 6 minutes after the 90.
Thomas. Neville.
Oh,
Quite hold on to the ball.
What's trying to back
One back by Olivia Hull. She won't be dispossessed easily.
Brilliant.
Still Olivia Hull. Knocks it into a player. Drops back for Thomas. Who's going to spin on it. Gives it to Hull. One back by Sandberg. Drew Spence quick to press. United can escape now. Here comes Park. In behind for Rolfo. United bursting down the right-hand side. Frilina Rolfo now wants to take on Hunt. Puts it in there for Park. It's one back by Spence. Cleared away, and Sandberg wanted to keep that move alive. He's going to have to recover this ball first. Auntie, so something's telling me we're going to win this or last this. Can United turn this around? Park carrying it forwards. Now to Toon, can let fly in this sort of area. It's blocked by Neville. Holt trying to drag it out. Miyazar wins it back. Park again. Now it's with Maya Letitia. Wide to Riviere. Vinberg closes the angle. Riviere beats her now with skill. Ball in. Headed away by Koga. Park now. And that's a wasteful, wild attempt. Well wide of the mark.
Yeah. Rushed it. Had a player running at her and just decided to let fly and got it horribly wrong. Yeah, that's not a good effort. Just rushed it.
Hey, 27 wants at least 6 minutes of additional time.
I get it.
Have we had that many stoppages where the Tottenham players down a moment ago?
We've had a lot with
loads of goals going, but
subs. Yeah, I think
United didn't exactly celebrate.
I think we're getting 5 or 6. Oh, here we go.
And Lisa Kopp gets the yellow card, which the United fans are celebrating, and Emily Heaslip looks very pleased with herself.
I'm going to tell you that was coming.
She brandished the yellow card.
Really, that's job done. Book it on for time wasting.
That's a good.
I think we're looking at 6.
A scrapbook.
I think we're looking at 5 or 6 minutes at the very least.
Here's Spence.
We've got drama. Chances this ends 4-3 Tottenham. United equalised just for Tottenham to go out there. Martin Thomas again.
You know, the Home Alone scene with the bloke, his hair's on fire. It's just a boom. You won't even need the flame thing. It just happened for Skinner.
All eyes on the fourth official then.
Janssen now.
And the football.
No, we don't. What's the fourth up to? Here's Le Tissier. Now Park. Do United have time left in this clash? Summerlin, that looked like a handball from Miyazawa. United get away with it. 2 now. Out to the right-hand side. Riviere waits for Toon to overlap. Plays it to her. Vimmer's got to be disciplined now. She just keeps getting caught out a little bit. Here's Janssen. Thought about taking aim. Thinks better of it. Now Sandberg. 5 additional minutes. Ball in. And Rolfo can't steer it goalwards. Or Galton, sorry. Cleared out of play. Tottenham must survive another 5. It's enough time for United.
Yeah.
It's not loads. It's enough, though. Here's Park. Le Tissier. Toon. Out to Sandberg. Tries to get around Thomas. Ball towards the back post. Riviere with a desperate attempt, throwing herself on the floor. She won't get anything for that. And the ball rolls down the line. Park now. Into the box. Headed away by Summonen. Riviere tries to meet it. Mallard now backing into Spence to try and get a shot away. Dealt with by Koga. Lashed away by Spence. A minute wasted for United. 4 to play. Janssen. Down the line. Galton. And that's out. And that is really poor from Lea Galton. Sandberg will go and chase that ball down.
Yeah, one thing you've got to do at this point in the game is keep the possession alive. Don't lose the ball and just keep it turning over. Galton there runs it out of play. But still time for United.
Neville clears it. Into the middle of the pitch isn't ideal, but that will kill a bit of time. Here's Riviere. To Le Tissier. Wimberg still pressing at this late hour. Now has to drop deep. And track Le Tissier as she pushes forwards. Park. Toon. Rolfo now. Great hold up. Plays it in behind. Neville makes a mess of it. Bartrip gets it gone. And Thomas heads it out. Neville now will look to make a big tackle. And that's excellent from Ash Neville.
This is backs against the wall stuff from Tottenham.
Janssen to Le Tissier lying in wait on the edge. Toon now pokes it wide. Riviere gave up on that thinking Wimberg had it, but it's in Riviere's possession now. Jade Riviere, ball towards the back post, overhit again. Sandberg will keep this alive for United. 3 to play. Janssen in towards the front post, blocked by Holt. Corner for Manchester United.
Wow, 3 to play. United are all over Tottenham now. 1 goal away from completing the comeback. Got to make first contact with this Tottenham. Nerves on the Tottenham bench. Nerves on both benches. 1 goal now for United. Could massively change things. Toutless Joyce has gone up as well. United know how important a goal right now would be.
Not only to get the points themselves, but to take them off Tottenham. Tullis Joyce misses it, and that's cleared away. And it did, I think, hit the hand of Alan Tullis Joyce.
Yeah. Goalkeeper instinct set in there for Dallas Joyce. Not what United needed. And that is going to wait. That's wasted another minute.
Yeah.
And Tottenham are going to try their best to smash this as far up the pitch as possible.
I don't know why Tullis Joyce bothers dropping back into a goal here.
Well, Tottenham could shoot.
But what difference does it make? They need the players forwards. Olivia Holt, right, for getting player of the match, by the way. If we're going to do a player of the match. It's Olivia Holt.
Well done.
Brilliant player. And yeah, looked absolutely unplayable today. Riviere. 90 seconds to go. Le Tissier now. To Janssen. Carries it up to Sandberg. Controlled. Park. Pokes back to Janssen. Janssen looking a probe. Out to the right-hand side. Le Tissier now has Riviere as the wide option. Goes back to Janssen instead. Now Park, United flooding the box. Feeds it through to Galton. Across the box. Oh! And United level at the death. But that's not enough for them. They're getting back. They want a winner in this game. United 3, Tottenham 3. From 3-0 down, United come back to level.
Wow. Wow. We spoke about it.
Unbelievable.
Spoke about it in the Champions League, but Rolfo, this time in the league, coming up with a massive goal. Galton just
Galton.
drifts.
Too much space given.
Wow.
Rolfo floats into the opportune area, tucks it home, and United,
Wow.
from 3-0 down, from down and out to level.
Ridiculous. Did not see this coming.
And now Tottenham are coming forward. Here's Ash Neville. Thomas. Ball in.
No way.
Wimberg tries to head it down, and it's out
Corner.
for Tottenham corner.
No way. Last chance of the game. This is the last chance of the game. What an end to the WSL in 2025.
It came off Riviere. She can't afford to get treatment. They'll be down to 10. So she has to just play through it.
Yeah, Wimberg headed it right into the face of Riviere. But corner to Tottenham. What a game. United look down and out. They've magical turnaround, but will Tottenham have the last say?
Well, it's Evelina Summanen. Ball in towards the front post. Not a great delivery. And Park now looking to break. Is there time left on Heaslip's watch? Park pokes it right.
No way.
Letitia now touches it on. It's Toon on the right-hand side for United. Cuts it back. Ball in. Toon. Park.
Oh, what a
cleared
tackle.
away. Riviere has to deliver into the area. Thomas clears. Rolfo can't do enough. And that's lashed away. And an incredible game of WSL football ends. Manchester United 3, Tottenham 3. Tottenham were unplayable for 70 minutes. But United at the death turned it around in the most dramatic of fashions. A crucial point. Yes, they dropped to Arsenal. They slipped further behind Chelsea and City. But they rescue a draw. They sit fourth in the league and they stay ahead of Tottenham.
Wow. What a game. What a game to end 2025 in the WSL. Brilliance from Tottenham, but
Wow.
United did superb to turn that around. That's a great fight back. 2-0 down at half-time, 3-0 down, and you thought with 25, 30 minutes to play that the 3 points were going back to London. But what a turnaround for United. Tottenham will be disappointed. I think both teams will be disappointed with a point. You can tell United know that's a big slip. Tottenham know they should have won that game. But at a point each it is. What a game of football that was.
6 games this weekend, 25 goals.
Wow.
So much action at all ends of the table. I'm lost.
Look at that.
I'm lost. We're back tomorrow to talk about it. I've got nothing to say now.
3 goals in 20 minutes for United.
Yeah.
To turn it around. 94th minute equaliser. Doesn't get much better than
A
that.
breaks off the bench from Frilina Rolfo. Incredible. It's a big point. It's a big point. United was so wasteful early on. They generated 4.38 expected goals. They still underperformed it. But at the death, they came up with the goods. At least they got a point. First 70 minutes, Tottenham were much the better side. They couldn't quite hold on.
Wow.
Last game of the WSL for 2025. Absolutely delivered.
What a weekend.
We'll be back with more this week. Tomorrow, we'll be back with our WSL weekend roundup. It is going to be it's going to be a long one, probably, because not only have we got an extra game to cover, but every game was good. So, yeah, that's going to be a long one. Join us tomorrow for 5 p.m. Should be a good one. And then we're back for Champions League this week. The Champions League ends 8 o'clock, the last match day of the Champions League group stage. We'll be back for that on Wednesday, and join me on Thursday for the Champions League group stage draw. So if anyone else, like me, has nothing else to do at 12 o'clock on a Thursday, join us for the Champions League draw. We'll find out who every side will be facing. That will end the streams then for the year.
Wow.
Incredible stuff. WSL is done now. Going into winter break. We'll be back tomorrow, though, to break it all down. And we've got loads of winter break content to come your way. Transfer rumours, all that sort of stuff. So look out for that. That is everything. What an incredible game. Thanks to everyone who's joined us today to witness it. And thank you guys very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.